Those on the underthrow, so shock and groan. Disobedience turned their hearts to stone. Rejected the truth, lost in the zone. Now they're paying rent in Hades' bone home. Both crackheads, no shelter in the night. Underworld gates, that eternal fright. Denials echo through torturous flight. Only face facts could have saved their plight. Lightning crack, no way back. Lost souls on brimstone track. Ignorance, gotta pay the toll. Zeus truth, or face the dole. Charon's boats, too full to float. Whales of the foolish on the underworld note. Denied Olympian, decree now they don't. Eternal chains, no antidote. Gods convene, truth unseen. Demigods whisper, lost souls scream. Follow the path or drown in the stream. Zeus' wrath, a cruel dream. Dreams of torment, echo loud. Lost in sulfur, desperate crowd. Zeus watches from Olympus cloud. Rejected truth, their fates avowed.
Greetings.
Convene, no way back. Lost souls on brimstone track. Ignorance, gotta pay the toll.
Let's go.
Or face the dole. Charon's boats, too full to float. Whales of the foolish on the underworld boat. Denied Olympian, decree now they don't. Eternal
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Oh, yes, we are once again back in the Thunderdome. You know exactly why we are here. Let's get it going, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness, happy Monday. Oh, my goodness. You know what we got to
Stuck in time. It's like a curse. And I can't escape.
do. Alrighty then, ladies and
It's
gentlemen.
like deja vu.
Good morning, Mr. YouTube. Greetings.
It's deja vu when I'm lining up these racks. I'm like the curve.
Peaches, good morning. Alright, welcome. Alright, welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
First class. It's like every week I gotta take out the trash. I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class.
You can tell that I made it. Look at my grass.
In the garage with tanks full of gas. I play the game so hard I won't finish last.
Sitting in my living room, giving how we made it.
This is how it's supposed to happen.
Let's go.
The algorithm turned to a maniac.
I guess we go with viral cause my Zodiac. I got all these snippets on my spreadsheet. Let's go.
And if they is my ex, that mean they left me.
Alright, we're yeah. Good morning, Belinda. Good morning, Brother Heaven. Nice to see ya. Let's go. Here goes, here goes. You haven't gone into my live?
Shit was radical.
Oh, it was radical?
It was horrible. I'm like, Zeus has gone way off.
Oh, okay.
Like deja vu. It's like deja vu. Like deja vu. It's like
Yeah, it is really like deja vu. Happy Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. Once again, we are back in the Thunderdome. I'm your host. I'm your pilot, and you know exactly why we are here. All right. Good morning, the beautiful Rhea. All right. Before we get into what we came to talk about, obviously we got to take care of some housekeeping items. For those of you who do not know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it's quite simple. The first stage is because I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media. You won't find anyone more honest than me, seriously. All right. The second H is because, well, I'm humble. Listen, if I get it wrong, I will be the first to apologize. But here's the thing: it just turns out I haven't been wrong lately. All right. And then the last and the most important H, honestly, is because I am and will always remain, you've guessed it, the most handsome. You know exactly what we're here to do. Now, many of you are very familiar with what we do over here on this side of TikTok, on this side of town. What we do is very, very, very special. We hold these people who are on the right accountable. Well, actually, I don't even want to say that these people are on the right anymore. We hold these people who have continued to support evil and just lies and just nasty behavior, corruption at the highest level. You know, those Trump supporters. Yeah. What we do is it's a bit of a rehab thing, right? Where we help them see the light, right? And part of that means we got to cast the MAGA demon out, all right? And you're too far wrong. Well, I haven't even said anything. How could Matt? Seriously, Matt, how could I be wrong? I'm just getting started. It's Monday. I went through the weekend just like every other American. And do you have anything to hang your hat on? Seriously, you Trump supporters. See, look. Even when I try to somehow, you know, just get into it, you guys still want to come out here and act like you're victims. First of all, everyone knows Trump supporters are not allowed to be victims around Zeus. Not at all. Because you guys are a bunch of professional victims. You're a professional crybabies. I've never seen a group of people cry like I see Trump supporters crying. You all will take any situation and somehow try to portray yourselves as the victims. You're not the victims. You're actually the aggressors. So listen up. You know what we're doing over here. So before I get started, I see that we already have Trump supporters in my live already, which is great. But I got to say this. Any of you Trump supporters out there, if you do not want us to hurt your feelings, all right, because your feelings are going to get hurt. If you do not want me to ruin your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and everything in between, do us all a huge favor. Why don't you leave this live and go hang out with those fake TikTok hosts, all right? Because they'll lie to you. The fake TikTok hosts, they'll lie to you. But over here, no. We will not lie to you, all right? So if you do not want to experience that, do us all a huge favor and listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. And let this be the beginning of the issues that we're going to address today. Donald J. Trump is currently gaslighting the United States of America and the citizens within by repeatedly lying to all of us about what's really happening in this country, boots on the ground style. Now, we all see what's happening. I got a sad story to tell you all. Yesterday, I went to the grocery store, and guess what? Once again, we had no eggs at the grocery store. I know. There's no... I know. Yeah. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. We saw the numbers in terms of the jobs. We know the jobs report that came out on Friday. They said 151,000 jobs were created, but it didn't tell the whole story because the rest of the story came after February 15th. As you know, February 15th is the day they cut the numbers off, right? So the next job report is going to be it's going to be hell. The next job report is going to be hell. And I'm starting to get inundated with a lot of content, a lot of sob stories about a bunch of Trump supporters who are all of a sudden regretting that they voted for Donald J. Trump. But this isn't it. The suffering still must continue, all right? We seriously got a lot more suffering to do as a country because for the life of me, I got to start asking. Hold on, I can't do the battle right now. What caused the people who voted for Donald J. Trump, who are currently now suffering, how did you miss the warning? How did you miss the warning that Donald J. Trump was going to be bad news for the American people? Yeah, we told them, right? Yeah. So Donald Trump knows that there are cracks. There's cracks forming. There's cracks forming in the economy. Why aren't you worried about the prices? Oh, okay. So Tom, if you don't mind, come up here real quick, Tom, because I'm going to play some of Donald Trump's interview. He had a interview on Sunday morning with Maria Bartiromo on Fox, and I can't help but wonder, does Donald Trump have a serious case of Biden derangement syndrome like you, Tom? Hey, Tom, and to all Trump supporters, seriously, do us all a huge favor. Could you guys just keep President Biden's name out of your mouth? Could you all just keep President Biden's name out of your mouth? The economy now is Donald Trump's responsibility. Our national security is Donald Trump's responsibility. Do not bring up President Biden or Vice President Kamala Harris, because as far as I'm concerned, you Trump supporters are a bunch of ungrateful, evil, and wicked people. It's sick that you all think this is an acceptable thing. I watched this interview on Fox, and you know what I like to do? I just like to start counting how many times Donald Trump and his supporters bring up Joe Biden. Once he got to 11, I said, you know what? To hell with him, right? W Zeus in the chat. The sitting president of the United States continues to blame Joe Biden. And you have to start wondering, what the heck did Joe Biden do to Donald Trump? Because something is really, really wrong with this man. All right. And I'm trying to be very serious with you Trump supporters. It's a sad day in America where you're so worried about what's going on in the LGBTQ plus community, right? A community that probably, now that I think about it, a lot of you are in and you're secretly in there, but you don't want us to know. But we know you're in there because we saw that grinder operation, you know, at the RNC, right? W Zeus in the chat. You all are secretly in that. And then you get out here and you try to act like, oh, we got a serious problem with it. All right. And you're willing to. Did you hear about the plane crash the other day? There was a plane crash yesterday. Another one. We got Elon and Marco Rubio fighting in the Oval Office. Donald Trump now saying, you know what, Elon, I'm a little insecure about your role in the administration. And he doesn't know what to do with him because Elon bought him. Elon bought Donald Trump. And like I told you all, you saw something. To me, the most amazing thing that Elon Musk has done, a lot of people think it was the rocket going into the sky and then it came back and then it landed, or even Artemis, you know, because Artemis went to the moon the other week. The most amazing thing Elon Musk has done is he got a president, this guy right here, who wears a diaper. He did this. And he got the guy with the diaper to come down and it land right on his lap. And this happened, and his supporters cheered this on. W Zeus in the chat. You can't make this stuff up. How do you get a president like Donald Trump to land on your lap? That's impressive, isn't it? Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Did I heard some Della Lanehart? Did I invite you up here? Oh, it says Della, you're not available. Della. Della, maybe I hurt your feelings because I'm telling you too much truth. That's fine. I wasn't looking to be your friend, Della. So what I'm going to do, Della, since you can't come up, which means most likely you got reported in some other platform and they said, you know what, Della, you're probably better off in the comment section, or Della is a Russian bot. Della, what I'm going to do is give you an honor this morning. I am going to send you, Della, on a vacation, a first-class trip straight to hell. Della, are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and warm up the lake of fire. All right. Now, you see this? You hear that, Della? That's the lake of fire warming up. And I'm getting it extra warm and nice and right just for you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send Della, this deranged Trump supporter who probably is collecting Social Security, but she won't be collecting it anymore once her dear leader cuts it off. And then when she's unemployed and she's on not getting those benefits and not collecting Social Security, then and only then maybe she'll wake up. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send her straight to hell. Della, do you think I care?
Silence, you MAGA David.
Hey, Della, I got some information for you. This is what Donald Trump thinks about you.
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
Which one is it, Della? Which one is it? You want me to give it back to you again?
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
Which one is it, Della? Because if you ask me, honestly, I think it's both. Now, let's get into some of this Fox News interview that Donald Trump did yesterday. And you all have to understand, the reason Donald Trump right now is he's terrified. There's cracks in his support. you saw Bernie Sanders out here, and you see all these Democrats showing up to all these town halls. And at these town halls, I have good news. You actually have real Republicans going, for some reason or another, I voted for Donald Trump because maybe it was the tradition in the family, or you just didn't get all the information on the internet like a lot of us got it. And really, these people were victimized by Donald Trump's lies. And now they're joining forces with Democrats and independents, and they're going, we demand accountability, right? And so the momentum is changing. The culture is clearly changing, and it's not changing in MAGA's favor. So what does Donald J. Trump decide to do? He decides, I got to get back into campaign mode, because that's the only way he can whip up support from his base, right? He has to get out here and start campaigning. So what does he do? He goes up to Fox News and starts to lie his behind off. And I listened to this thing again. Just listen to how many times he brings up Joe Biden.
Deal? What specifically ticked you off?
Well,
The day I call it a smackdown of Zelensky. It looked really rough, but then again, at the end of the day, you may have your deal back. So is that all the art of the deal? Or what specifically ticked you off?
well, he was able to, it was like taking candy from a baby, what he did. He's a smart guy, and he's a tough guy. And he took money out of this country under Biden. Like,
You hear that? You hear what he did? We are 34 seconds into this interview, and Donald Trump brings up President Biden. It's like, what is going on in Donald Trump's mind when he cannot stop talking about Joe Biden? It's really disturbing. And he's lying already. It wasn't like taking candy from a baby. Everyone knows all the aid that Ukraine got, the military support, came from the United States government, and it was bipartisan. It wasn't like, oh, Zelensky came into the country and said, hey, Joe, I got a little thing I'm doing in Ukraine. Go ahead and allocate billions of dollars to me. It doesn't work like that. I know Trump supporters think it works like that because they believe that there's actual fraud going on in the government at the levels Donald Trump and Elon Musk say they are. So I already know Trump supporters can't think. All right, but let's listen to more of what Donald Trump continues to say.
candy from a baby. It was so easy. With that same attitude. And I just don't think he's grateful. We gave him, in my opinion, $350 billion. Europe.
I got to stop you right there. How many of you out there believe the United States of America gave Zelensky $350 billion? How many of you out there believe? I haven't even gotten a minute into this interview. We're already dealing with Biden derangement syndrome and lies. How many of you out there believe we actually have given Ukraine 300? You heard him. You heard him. He said it, in my opinion. So we're going to get something on the record, because you could go look this up, but I know Trump supporters won't.
And I just don't think he's grateful. We gave him, in my opinion, $350 billion.
All right, so let's look it up for Trump supporters. And I'm going to say this one time. And if any Trump supporter ever gets onto my show and repeats this $350 billion number, I promise you, I'm going to give you one opportunity to correct. And then after that, I'm just going to drop you. You can go look it up on the State Department's website, and it reads, this is what it says. To date, we have provided $66.5 billion in military assistance since Russia launched its premeditated, unprovoked, and brutal full-scale invasion of Ukraine on February 24th, 2022, and approximately $69.2 billion in military assistance since Russia's initial invasion of Ukraine in 2014. Now, that's a big difference. You're talking about, at best, $70 billion, and this guy, this clown, this liar, this grifter in chief, W. Rick in the chat, goes and rounds and repeats $350 billion. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, let's warm up the lake of fire. All right, we got to stop this lie right here in the Biden derangement syndrome right here. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending the liar in chief, who continues to make up numbers and pull them out of his out of his dirty diaper. Join me in sending him straight to Hell! I gotta get that on the record.
Silence, you MAGA Daily.
All right, so let's get into some more Biden derangement syndrome, and then I'll go to the box. But again, so let's talk about when Donald Trump brought up Joe Biden again. All right, this is what he said about President Biden. Let's go.
Joe Biden, he was a killer.
You
And
may
it's
get
one
it
of the
again.
reasons that of our country. And you know what else you wouldn't have had inflation. We had record-setting inflation under Biden. It was a killer.
You may get-
So the guy that says when he becomes president on day one, he's going to take care of inflation. Here we are, pretty much 50, 60 days into his presidency, and we're dealing with inflation at levels we've never seen. And what does he do? He brings up President Biden once again. Do you Trump supporters still believe this guy? I gotta ask. Right, Diva Talks? Yeah. Trumpflation. Does any Trump supporter still believe that the current inflation right now is because of President Biden? If so, put a guest request in. I would love for you to come up here and explain how that works. All right. You want some more Biden derangement syndrome? All right, I'll give you a little bit more Biden derangement syndrome. Okay, let's go here. All right, let's go. All right.
Very valuable. But with all that being said, Biden should have never put up $350 billion. He should have equalized with Europe. All he had to do.
Biden should have never put up $350 billion. Donald Trump, first of all, we just debunked that lie that it was $350 billion. Oh, okay, Michael, please come on up here, Michael. Michael with your 6 followers. I know Michael's not going to come up here because Michael is a Russian bot. Mods, please do what you wish to this knucklehead, this knuckle dragger in my live. Michael, and anybody that says something just as ridiculous as Michael, either you get up here and bring the facts, data, and statistics, or I'm going to ask you to just sit your special behinds down and continue to listen to this special broadcast. Oh, someone said that I'm goofy? Oh. I mean, I'm sitting up here trying to get the truth out here to Americans all over the country because Americans want answers. We want our government to be held accountable, and we want to get rid of the fraud, waste, and abuse. And you all are sitting in my chat crying and complaining. Michael.
Yep.
Did you hear what I'm talking about? Where's your grievance?
Most of this inflation was left behind by Biden.
Didn't Trump say he was going to take care of it the moment he got into office?
Oh, you guys take everything. I mean, he's been there 60 days.
No, that was a yes or no.
Well, no, he didn't.
No, so Trump never said that the moment he gets in the office, inflation would go away. You want me to go pull it up?
Oh, for Christ's sake, you guys.
Because
you
if
guys
I pull
take
it up,
everything with a grain of salt.
if I pull up the quote and then he turns around and said it, would you issue me an apology right here in front of all these folks, Michael? If I find the quote, because I don't have it queued up, but a lot of us have already heard it.
Are you telling me none of this inflation was left behind by Biden?
I didn't say that. I said, let me find the quote. Let me go ahead. Because I think you know what I'm talking about. Either you could just admit that he said it or not. He said...
Oh, no, he said it.
Okay.
It's not going to happen on day one, and everybody knows that.
Okay.
It's a figure of speech. You know what I mean? Don't take everything like, oh, I walk in the office, I sign a paper, and now all of a sudden everything's supposed to be taken care of. It takes time.
How much? Let me get my notepad. Okay, because I've been waiting for you to say that excuse. And I got this notes right here. And every time a Trump supporter tells me it takes time, I ask them to please give me a date. And believe it or not, I have not met one person that has been able to give me a date. Would you be that one person that could give me a date for when?
Nope, I won't.
So then we can't give you any points, Michael.
Well, no, but of course we're not. I mean, you expect somebody to put an exact date on when somebody's going to fix something. I mean, you're talking about years or 4 years of Biden just destroying this country, and you expect him to fix it on day one.
Well, you're holding Biden accountable for it. So obviously Biden was able to get the results, maybe not the results you liked. Why can't we do the same thing with your dear leader? This is the guy. No one told. So when people say the Democrats are saying this and that, I want you to understand why, me personally, why this is a serious issue. Nobody told Trump to go on stage while he was campaigning, right, and say these things, right? No one told him to say he's going to bring the egg prices down. No one told him to say, drill, baby, drill. We're going to lower energy to mean lower the price of groceries. No one told him to say this stuff. He came up with it on his own, right?
Right.
Now, I'm from the land of if you promise me something, then when it's time for me to get it, and you don't have my issue, we have a problem.
But no, not everybody is on your time frame. Things take time. Things don't happen overnight. And I understand. He might have said day one, give him some time. I mean, it took 4 years for Biden to destroy everything.
No.
Give him a little time to bring it back.
Now, Michael, I've been telling people that there's a case of Biden derangement syndrome going around, and I don't know what RFK is actually doing to help cure it. But it seems within the first 30 minutes or 30 seconds of asking someone that's a Trump supporter a question, we always hear the name President Biden coming up. And I just don't think that's an acceptable excuse, considering that Trump is now taking victory laps right now, saying this is by far one of the most successful administrations within the first, 45 days, even more successful than George Washington. Either is that another one of those figure of speeches you're saying?
No, not at all.
So
I do think based on what he's done already, he is very successful.
Okay, so we can't bring Joe Biden into this.
Well, no, I'm saying if you want to compare the two, oh heck yes, Trump's got him beat hands down on what he did the first day, or the first 60 days in office.
Okay, so with that being said, and I'm going to give you that point, let's just go down this path together. Donald Trump probably has had the most successful 45 days of any president ever. Let's give him that.
Okay.
Then we get to what's going on with the inflation. Then we get to why are the mass deportation numbers so atrocious, right? Now he's so desperate. You hear about what he's doing. He's so desperate to boost his inflation numbers that he's now going after college students who were, protesting just to try to boost his inflation numbers. That's crazy.
You got proof of that?
Yeah.
You got proof that he's booted. Well, I understand.
You heard him today, and Marco Rubio just posted it on his X platform. Anyone who protested, about the H group, you know what I'm talking about. Then they're going to have their visas revoked and deported. So what they're doing is they're looking for other ways to boost the mass deportation numbers because the current numbers are really terrible. He is supposed to be deporting up to 11 million people. And he's not doing it. He probably gets maybe 1,000 or so a week. And at that rate, by the time he leaves office, he's probably only going to have deported maybe a couple 100,000 at best. And what we're finding out is in some of these cases, it's actually American citizens.
Well,
so his deportation numbers are trash. In terms of the economy, it's trash with these tariffs. You see the stock market today, by the way?
Yeah, I did. But hey, that's nice that you landed on that. Do you know what the stock market was when Trump left office before Biden?
You brought Biden up. W Zeus in the chat. I could easily get you to tell on yourself.
No.
Bottom line is this.
No, the bottom line is this. You always want to play your little clips. When Trump,
these are Trump. This is Trump talking. These aren't clips. This is reality.
You talk over everybody and you won't let them finish. When Trump left office, the stock market was at an all-time high. When Biden came in, the stock market dove to about 2,800 points.
All right, now, I'll take your word.
The stock market came back up about 6 months before Biden left office, and the only reason was it was an election year. And they seen who was going to be back in office. So give it time. It's back up there, and I don't think he's doing bad at all with the stock market.
Well, all of that sounds like the stuff Trump says, because the other day he said he doesn't look at the stock market when he makes these decisions, decisions like the tariffs. So I'm not necessarily inclined to go ahead and go down that path. But it sounds to me like you think about 6 months or so is enough time for Donald Trump's plan to restore the golden age to America to kick in. You think it takes about 6 months?
I would say I'm going to say you'll see some definite improvements in 6 months. I'm not saying he's going to have everything right back in line and all your ducks in a row. No, but has any president ever had?
Well, well, I'll say this. To be honest with you, I think what we're all finding out now is the president alone doesn't have the ability to control every aspect of the economy. I think honestly that's what we're finding out, right?
Exactly.
Right? But
Right.
but that means Trump supporters would have to apologize to President Biden for all of the pressure they put on him to try to fix things that they are now realizing that president really can't fix. Now, are you
Well,
ready to apologize to President Biden perhaps?
I know. I don't think I'd ever.
Okay,
apologize to
so with
President
that,
Biden.
okay,
But
with
there's
that
a
being,
lot of
no, no,
things.
no, 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 no. See, so you're not playing fair. See how I did that to you? I'm an expert at what I do.
No, no,
The
no.
problem
you're
here,
not
the
an
problem
expert.
here,
When,
the
when
problem
Trump
here
leaves
is
office, when Trump leaves office here in 4 years, and he hasn't accomplished everything that he said he was going to accomplish, or some things aren't just right, I'm not going to apologize to him either. You said you're going to do this. You should have done it. But you
well,
got to give somebody time
no.
to work their plans.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this to you because this is how I put it to people. Imagine you voted for Donald Trump 3 times, right?
Okay.
You work for the United States Treasury, and you've been working there for 13 years, and then Donald Trump, Elon Musk, they fire you, and they cut your water off. That's that's a metaphor, but you get what I'm saying. Figure of speech. How much time does that person have to land on their feet and make sure their mortgages continue to get paid, make sure their cars continue to, make sure their children are taken? Like, how much time do you expect those people without any income to give Donald Trump?
The same time every other
No,
American.
no, 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 no. How much?
No. You're see, that's what I mean. You're jumping on somebody before they can answer a question that you asked. They're going to get the same amount of time as any other American when they get their unemployment.
No.
Why they look for another job? Why do you keep people on a gravy train that are doing nothing? These people are making like $140K a year, and they can't even tell you what they do.
So that's your opinion, and
Just like you know what? Just
and
like
you-
it's your opinion. We all have opinions. You know what I mean?
These
Doesn't mean
people-
yours is right. Doesn't mean mine's
But
right.
Michael, I'm gonna be honest with you. I got a question. Do you look down on people who work for the federal government? Do you think those people are fraudsters? Is that your
No,
angle
not-
about this?
well,
You think a majority of the people working in the federal government are fraudsters, right?
I think the federal government is awful heavy.
But when you're talking about the federal government, that's people. So your
every
outlook.
other American, just like every other American.
No, Michael, I think we're getting somewhere now. Your belief is that like the 80,000 people that are possibly going to get laid off. I don't know where they're at with that, but you think like that's too many people making money off of the government in your mind.
No, I didn't say they're making.
You
that's
think that-
I
no,
didn't- no. Don't let me finish.
Well,
I didn't
well,
say
you said
that.
it's heavy, and I'm just concerned about what you meant when you said heavy.
I'm just saying, when you said, "Is that too many people?" That's too working for the federal government. If they don't need you, you don't need them. You're baggage. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I understand, trying to become more efficient, but there's 80,000 employees they're talking about letting go at the VA. And from your opinion, you think the people that are helping our veterans are somehow involved in government fraud, waste, and abuse? Do I have that correct, Michael?
No, you don't. No, you don't have that.
Okay, so
correct.
clarify it then.
No, you do
please
not have
clarify.
that correct.
Please-
If they are doing a legitimate job,
Which most
and
of them
they-
are. I think all of them are. If you you know how hard it is to get a job working for the government?
do you know?
You know they don't just go around and pick random people up. You got to go
Do you
through
know?
serious.
Do you know? Once you get that job, it's nothing but a gravy train. You tell me where half of these people that work for the government,
And I'm glad you just said that, because you basically just admitted you think a lot of the people working in government are committing fraud, waste, and abuse. Just say it, Michael.
No, I didn't say that. I said
You said it's
no.
a
I
gravy
told you
train.
before. I think the government is very heavy. Yes.
So you think it's
No.
a gravy train? Those were your words.
No, I said once you get working for the government, you can't take. You know why all those people are upset? They're in there making $140K a year. Go out in the general sector where everybody else works, all hardworking Americans, you, me, everybody, and see if you can make $140K. No.
But Michael, I'm gonna be honest. $140K, especially out here in the Bay Area, it's still not enough.
I don't know where you're located, to tell you.
I'm in the Bay Area. If you imagine you go to school, you come out, you got student loan debt. I don't know what you got. Your rent's maybe $1,000 or $2,000 a month. You're taking some of the money in taxes out. You're trying to start a family. You got it. With inflation the way it is, I think the outlook that a person is looking at what someone makes and saying that's too much or that's not enough, that's going too far. You shouldn't be pocket watching. That's just my opinion. But I think you've spoken very plainly. I think you've spoken very plainly, Michael. I think you and people like yourself believe these people who work in the VA, or maybe the people who work at the IRS, right? Or NIH or any of these other federal agencies, you all think it's some sort of get rich scam.
No, I don't at all. You're putting words in my mouth. For those people that are in there, they're working. If that's what the job pays is $140K, and they are actually doing the job, and they are a well-needed person, by God's mean, pay them. I mean, we need them. But what you need to get rid of is all of the dead wood in the government. That is we're wasting so much money on government employees that we don't need.
Michael, he's talking about 80,000 employees from the VA, thousands from the Social Security Administration. Do you really think all 80,000 are on a gravy train of some sort?
Obviously, I don't know.
No. Oh, so you don't know?
No, I don't know all. I don't know the number 80,000. Do I think there's a lot of people in the government that they don't need? Oh, you better believe I believe that.
So you know what you kind of come across to me as, and is you sound to me like you're heartless.
Why am I heartless? Because
you don't care about your fellow Americans.
Well, here you go again. You won't let somebody talk.
I've listened to you.
Because why am I heartless? Because I can't see employing somebody that you don't need, that the government don't need. Because first of all, you know who pays for all these government employees? We do.
But you don't see Trump or Elon trying to take a cut. You know who pays? You know who pays for Elon? Say it.
I don't even know if Elon is taking
with his government contracts and what he's doing with Doge. Who pays for that, Michael?
I have no clue. I'm sure the government.
The chat says we do.
Did you see what was the company that Elon bought? Went in there and he hacked what? 2/3 of it because he didn't need them. You walk into government.
But you see what you just did, right? Once I let you know that we're paying Elon, now you're going to go look for some sort of justification for Elon to get paid $8 million a day.
There is no justification. It's a fact. You walk in government and it's fact. There are so many people in there that do not work, but yet get a paycheck. Look at all these people that work from home. You're telling me that you can just sit there every day and work from home. You never have to show up for a meeting. You never have to show up for anything.
Michael, but when I asked you, prove it, you said you don't know. And the reason we're here, Michael, is because I was asking you, how much time do these people have when Donald Trump, after he cuts their water off, right? He fires them. These people voted for him 3 times, right? 2016, 2020, 2024, and now they're getting fired, but they've been career employees within the federal government. Now they are basically unemployed. Who knows if they get benefits, and even if they get the benefits, they're probably not going to get the full amount that they were getting paid by working.
Hopefully they get the same thing I lost my job.
Oh, so you lost your job when?
Well, it don't matter, but the point is,
I would love to. I'm curious. When did? Because it seems to me like it happened to me, so it needs to happen to everybody else. Might
No,
be.
no, 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 no. Don't put my no, no, no. You're going down a different road right
So
now.
so what year did you lose your
I'm telling. No,
job?
no. You asked
No,
how
no,
long
no.
it is before.
We've came here,
See, here
Michael.
you
What
go.
you?
All you want to do is talk over people. The point is, you get the same thing everybody else does. You get unemployment. You know what? If you don't want your water bill shut off, then pay the water bill.
But
You're
if you
gonna
don't have
to
a
learn
job,
how to
Michael, you got to
budget.
pay. If you don't have the full income, sometimes because a lot of people they say 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. So
Okay.
let's not pretend like all of these Americans out here who you think are somehow on a gravy train got 6 months to a year worth of savings set aside so that when Donald Trump does this, that they're going to go, oh, okay, yeah, we understand. It's just, the good times are over. A lot of people won't be able to pay their full.
Well, maybe most of these American people should learn how to live on a budget and not live every single penny. So when something like this happens, they're kind of prepared for it. You're telling me you've never lost a job in your life, or nobody else has ever lost a job in their life?
I can honestly say, yes, I've experienced that before.
What did you do then? What did you do then? When you lost that job, what did you do?
You have to accept it, right? That's
Right,
the
you
first
have to
start.
accept
And
it.
you
You have
and
to
then and
adjust.
but Michael, you asked me a question, and I think that there also you learn a lot, right? And there has to be compassion for when this happens, especially in a country. This is one of the richest countries on the planet, right?
Okay.
So
Where have you,
when
where
a
have you ever where have you ever worked at a company that they actually care about the people? When it comes time to cut people or get rid of people that they don't need, you're just a number. But you know what? You as an American or whatever, you need to prepare. I mean, you're living if you're
this
spending
is
every dime you
mega,
get, that's shame on you. You should prepare because things
Michael.
can happen anytime.
Michael, it just to me seems like the thing is this. The way this country is set up, we got social safety nets set up sometimes or in certain areas, right? Because a lot of people understand that when someone loses their job, it's devastating. Okay? And so
It
we need to
is.
be more compassionate to our fellow Americans. What you're saying, sir, honestly, it seems to me like you're just like, it happened to me. I survived, so everyone else should have to experience it the way that I
I'm not,
experienced it. And
I'm
it
not
sounds
saying
very. It to me, it sounds like wow, this is a sad situation, honestly, because first of all, I don't personally subscribe to the idea that a majority of Americans who are working in the federal government are on some sort of gravy train. You
Oh
don't.
Jesus.
I personally, I would never say that because, my dad, he was in the Air Force, and he's worked with various federal agencies. And I understand that's a lot of work. And as a matter of fact, in a lot of cases, you probably don't get paid what you would get paid in the private sector for some of the things that these people do. I also understand, like, when you're talking about our national security, you heard about Donald Trump and Elon getting rid of the people who were protecting our nuclear weapons and then having to try to get them back. Same with the people who worked at the CDC. Oh, please come on back. The USDA. All of this stuff is starting to actually have a direct impact. And they're finding out that when you get rid of all these people who've been helping our fellow Americans, which is to me a very patriotic thing to do, it actually makes the problem that you were trying to fix 10 times worse. Air traffic controllers, yeah, the other day a plane fell out of the sky. So Michael, this is the issue. You honestly have to start saying you don't know what the federal government does. And that's why you're believing that some sort of gravy train is out there. But the reality is this. Elon is taking way more money from our federal government than these people that you think are on some sort of gravy train.
What do you mean Elon's taking money for
With his government contracts with, Tesla and Starlink and SpaceX.
Elon made his own money. Elon doesn't
Okay.
need.
Okay. You don't think, you know what? I see you have a lot of fans in here. They want to actually try to check your temperature perhaps a little bit. You got a little bit more time on you, Michael, because I think I've already done my part to help you see the light. But I
You know what?
already, huh?
I have no problem with you. Maybe we can agree to disagree. I think it's a little fat, and I think there's plenty of places to trim. And
Okay.
I think you could find
Stay
that
right
at
there.
any company.
Okay.
That's called smart business. Get rid
Okay.
of your dead wood.
Okay. All right. All right. Now listen. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna bring up a panelist. All right. And then I'm going to ask you to see if you can get some traction, and perhaps we can win you over to the Democrat side today. Good morning, Nutty. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm
Good
all
morning.
right. Yeah. Now, Nutty is my good friend. I know Nutty has direct involvement with our federal government in some capacity. Am I right, Nutty?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay. All right. You heard the things Michael said. Is there a gravy train or anything like that you know about?
So, I've been working for the federal government now, going on 12 years.
Oh, Michael.
And Michael, can you please show me the boarding of where this gravy train is? Because I want to get on it.
When you can go into a place and get rid of a large majority of people, obviously they weren't needed. That's a gravy train.
So Michael, you're absolutely wrong, sir. You're absolutely wrong. The work that we
Well, of
do,
course I am.
you are, Michael. I listen. I'm being directly affected, and I'm telling you what the truth is because I'm in the absolute position that allows me to speak with authority on what's being said. You're not, so you can't tell me that I'm wrong, sir. You cannot tell me that I'm wrong.
Well, I guess no
Every
use talking with you then. I mean,
well,
if I'm
but you
not,
can't.
if you're
But
always
you.
right and everybody else is wrong,
But Michael, understand this. What is your profession, sir? What is your profession right now?
an engineer,
What type of engineer?
design.
Okay, so you mean to tell me if I came in your presence and I tried to tell you all about design engineering when I've had no experience with that at all, you mean to tell me you wouldn't be offended by that?
No.
You would.
If you
The
walk
devil is
into
a
a
lie.
place,
Stop
just like when
lying.
they walk into a place and you have 10 design engineers, they're going, geez, we really only have enough work for 4. So what are the other 6 doing?
So let me ask you this, Michael. So Elon Musk, let's stay on topic here. So what experience does Elon Musk have other than being a billionaire, by the way, which he didn't make this money. The $18 billion a year that he receives from our federal government in government welfare, because y'all like to call it welfare when it comes to women with children and black and brown folk. Y'all call it welfare there.
Amen,
No,
amen. That's a good one, Nutty. That's a good one. And no, we got to give Nutty a
No,
point for
Michael,
that one. I actually
no.
followed that. W Nutty.
These subsidies that Elon Musk receives, it's nothing but government welfare, my friend. He is receiving $18 billion per year in government subsidies, but yet he's the very person going into these agencies and cutting these people and cutting budgets. Do you not see that as a conflict of interest?
I can't. I don't really know what Elon.
No. I'm not letting you do that. Do you not? You're smart. If you are an engineer, you are smart enough to tell me if that is a conflict of interest or not.
You're getting into way too
No,
deep of
I'm
stuff
not.
here.
Stop stuttering and answering the question. Is it a conflict of interest?
I'm not stuttering.
You absolutely are.
No, I'm not. I don't know exactly what Elon does in that company, every little tidbit,
It
and
does
where it
not
affects
Okay,
matter.
him
let me
and
give
his
it to
income.
you. Let me give it to you, Michael. Musk businesses, mainly Tesla and SpaceX, have received at least $38 billion in government funding over more than 2 decades. This includes federal and state contracts, loans, subsidies, and tax credits. Nearly 2/3 of this amount, $25 billion, was pledged in the last 5 years, with $6.3 billion committed in 2024 alone. This figure is likely an undercount as it excludes classified defense and intelligence contracts. So now that you know that,
You also know people
no,
like
no,
you
no,
also know
no.
you
I
also
gave you the
know.
information,
No,
bro.
I need him to answer the question. Is it a conflict of interest?
I am going to answer the question. First of all, you do understand that people like Elon, who have companies like Tesla and all these other ones,
So that means
that
he's going to simp for a billionaire. Because I'm not
you-
going to sit here and listen to this crap when he can easily, Zeus, he can easily say, yes, it's a conflict of interest.
I don't need to
Because
say yes.
Someone who's receiving money from the government should not be allowed to come into our government and going into all of these agencies and cutting budgets.
Thank you.
It is not ironic. Zeus.
So
it is
obviously
not
you can't-
ironic. Michael,
So obviously
Michael,
you can't talk
Michael-
to either of you
Michael,
because you
stop.
don't let
No.
anybody answer
Michael,
anything.
hold on,
It is
hold
not
on.
ironic.
Just-
it is not
Hey,
ironic.
your buddy there won't he won't let anybody get a word in edgewise.
My name is not Zeus. My name is Antifa for a reason, and I'm not gonna let you gish gallop. I'm not gonna let you pivot. I'm not gonna let you say, well, you just over talking. Well, I'm gonna over talk you when you start talking crap. Listen, Elon Musk, he is a tyrant. He
Thank you.
cannot.
Let me tell
cannot,
you,
sir.
people like
Sir.
Elon Musk are
Sir,
the
since
reason this
Donald Trump
country
has been in
runs.
the
I
White
mean,
House,
you know how
since
many
Donald
people?
Trump has been in the White House, why has Donald Trump committed to spend $400 million of your money to buy these little ugly ass trucks out there
Thank you.
for the federal government? Is that not a conflict
Thank
of
you.
interest? Is
Do
that
you
not
also-
a conflict of interest? When he's
Michael.
going in and government efficiency, is that not a conflict of
Michael,
interest,
Michael, do you want me to give you a lifeline and look up the words or the definition of conflict of interest, perhaps? Because
No, you guys won't let me say anything anyway. So I mean, you guys just keep talking.
no, Michael. The reason we're at this level is because when we're asking you to just be honest with us
I'm telling you-
Americans,
I'm telling
you
you right
won't
now,
do it.
people
You
like
said first.
Elon-
Wait, you said at
Here we
first you
go
don't know.
again.
Wait.
Go ahead, talk over me some more.
You said at first you didn't know what Elon's business with the government was. Nutty's point was Elon has a conflict of interest. So, okay, you don't know what it is. I've given you the
You're
information.
not letting anybody say anything. All you want to do is hear your own voice. Do you know Elon and people like Elon at his level and all of his companies, Tesla and everybody, if you didn't support them, you know how many people Elon employs, his companies? Do you
Okay.
want to just wipe him out?
I
You have
want
more
to,
power?
Nutty, you want to take
I would
that?
rather-
Go ahead.
I would
Go
rather
ahead.
wipe them out instead of our federal bureaucracy. that
Thank
we
you.
have.
Thank you. He doesn't employ more
Yeah,
people than the
I would
federal
much rather
government.
Wipe them out.
Now he cares about people getting laid off if it affects Elon's bottom line, but he has no concern if it's the United States government.
So he doesn't care about all the people that work for Tesla, whether they work
No.
in the office, where they work
No.
on the line, whether
No.
they're a supplier.
No.
All he cares about is if it
No.
ruin Elon. That's all he cares about.
Because I care about the people who work on the line for Ford, GM. I care about the people who work on the line for Chrysler. I care about the people who goes out and farm the land so we can have food. I care about the people who is going every single day in psychiatry and helping people stop committing the unalivement of themselves. I care about people who are in these medical facilities trying to help women get access to health care. I care about these people who are doing the work.
W Nutty in the chat. Michael, at a certain point, bro, you got to quit running from the truth or you're going to get smacked with it. And this is where a lot of you are finding yourselves. Nutty has not said one lie. We've given you facts about what Elon is doing. And
Of course, you're going to agree with Nutty and he hasn't given you one lie. I know.
Let me ask that.
There's no. You know what? It's either your guys' way or it's the highway, and you guys are always right. Everybody else is wrong. So I mean, why even bother? Having a conversation with somebody when nobody else can get a word in edgewise, or everybody else is always wrong.
Well,
You know what's funny?
go
What's
for
funny?
it.
We just heard him say that nobody can get a word in edgewise. If that were the case, we wouldn't have been able to hear him say nobody can get a word in edgewise. Isn't that funny how that works?
And he's trying to do that. Yeah, it is because he's trying to be a victim. Oh, he left.
No, of course he left because the last point that I was going to make to him was the fact that Elon
thought
Musk
so.
has fired all the IGs that investigated him with all of these things that's coming up with Tesla, with
Yep.
SpaceX,
Yep.
all these investigations that he was under, they're wiped away. Doesn't that sound familiar? Because
Yeah.
Donald Trump is doing the same thing, getting things wiped away for their crimes.
Yeah. It's all a big Ponzi scheme at the end of the day, Nutty. W Rick in the chat. All right, W Nutty.
I have never, ever in my life seen a bunch of poor people, and we are considered poor.
Yeah.
Absolutely considered poor for someone like Elon Musk. I've never seen a bunch of poor people that will get up here and fight tooth and nail for someone that has a net worth that can make every single person, all 330 million people in this country,
Yeah. Tell
more
him.
than a millionaire.
Tell him, Nutty. Now listen, Nutty,
What-
real quick. We got to
what-
send that guy to hell real quick because he
What
thought he
in
was
the
going to
world are you
run.
thinking?
Yeah.
I'm done, Zeus.
All right.
I'm done.
All right.
Thank you for letting me up.
All right, W Nutty. All right. Hold on, W Nutty. To that previous guest, Michael. You thought you could run and hide, but you can't escape judgment, Michael. I gotta send you to hell, all right? And I'm going to send you to hell because you got up here and threw your fellow Americans under the bus, but then turned around and defended Elon Musk for the exact same reason you were throwing your fellow Americans under the bus. This shows me the corruption. This shows me the evil in your heart, ladies and gentlemen. Let's send deranged, lying Michael, who clearly is a seditionist, treasonous traitor. Let's go ahead and send him where he belongs. Straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
So are there any more Trump supporters? W. Marissa in the chat. Thank you so much. If you're a Trump supporter, please put a 1 in the chat, and I'll bring you right on up here. Again, we want honest conversations. The goal here, ladies and gentlemen, is we're trying to save this great country of ours, but we need Trump supporters to start being honest out here, all right? Now, when you tell me, a nutty, oh, I don't know what Donald or Elon Musk has done. I don't know what he's done. And then we give you what he's done. And then you turn around and start saying this other stuff. We're going to catch you and we're going to deal with you. All right. All right. Let me bring up the next guest. All right. Who do we got? Master Fuzz. Greetings.
How are you?
I'm all right. You a Trump supporter?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What part of his current administration right now would you say you really are just head over heels about? What is he doing right now that you just really love?
Well, I was going to kind of actually piggyback off what Michael was talking about.
Oh,
Yeah, because I'm actually a retired VA employee.
oh, so you
Yeah,
have direct understanding about what's happening.
yeah, and so what I saw frequently happen was they were putting people in positions that literally they were not literate enough to do the job, and like in life-threatening mistakes.
You said they weren't literate enough?
Yeah, because like they would order a test, like for one, we would have to have these Doppler tests
Right.
before some people could like go into surgery, and there would be an annotation next to it that this is only for this, and it would just this test would just literally back up surgery.
That happened to you. You had an experience like that, I take it.
No, I because
So you didn't.
I worked-
This didn't happen to you, or
No, I'm a psychologist, so I would go and interview people, and I would see these mistakes. So
Uh-huh.
it wasn't just like one time; it was like thousands of times that I
Got
would see these wrong tests, and it's like you could never correct it. You could never tell the supervisors. A lot of times, it would had to be these supervisors that would approve these tests, and so I kind of understand what Michael was saying about like dead wood, because some of these people, I mean, it would say right next, only order this for this. And I mean, I literally saw like just waste, like on a
Waste?
daily basis. And some people would call it mistakes, but
waste,
I mean,
fraud. So your assessment of the VA
no, it was like waste.
is waste. Your assessment of the VA, and you used to be an employee of the VA, correct?
Yeah.
Everyone else was waste except you.
Well, actually, and I wanted to piggyback off.
No. I mean, I was just concerned. Is that how you see things?
Well,
Because that's typical.
I did my job that I
Mm-hmm.
worked up to. I started off.
How do we know you weren't? How do we know you weren't considered waste to other people that work there?
Well, actually, the civilian sector, when I got out, when I retired, I went and tried to get a civilian job, and something I was making about $48,000 a year. I went to go and try to make on the civilian world, and they wanted to pay me $15 an hour.
So you were only making $48,000, and they let you go?
No, I retired.
Oh, okay. And so then you tried to get a civilian job, and no one wanted to pick you up?
But for $15 an hour.
I mean, what if
I
I was to tell you that's your market value? What if I were to say
That's
that
correct.
about that's your market value?
In the civilian world, that was
Yeah.
my market value.
Is that and you don't think that's an accurate number based on your
No, I mean, so I went and did something else.
what, like what? You
Well,
didn't cash in on that. That's a good. That's a fair amount.
I
That's a respectable amount in the market, in the private
yeah.
sector.
So I have a master's degree, so I was able to. I
in
taught
what in what
why it's
your
called a
master
psych associate.
a psych associates? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Master Fuzz, I got a question for you. Honestly, you brought up these people that you said worked at the VA, and I noticed it's like a pattern. And you could help me out because of your knowledge, right? Do you notice that you kind of do what Donald Trump, your dear leader, does when it comes to skirting accountability and perhaps having a ability to look at what's really happening? Donald Trump, he thinks a lot of people are the problem except for himself. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so like
I
so
think
that
he's pretty narcissist. He's a narcissist. I mean, I do.
he is, but you voted for him.
Yeah. Because
That kind of that's kind of contrary to your expertise, isn't it?
well, no. So listen. So
How do you
narcissists make sometimes they make some of the better business people, and they make some of the like the best surgeons, because they don't think failure's an option, and they go in there with that attitude. But they're on every other aspect, they're like a jerk in life. Okay.
So you think Donald Trump is very good at certain things, but he's a terrible person?
Pretty much sometimes, yeah.
And
So
you use the word business. You
he's
said
very
business.
good.
You think so? In your opinion, you think or you believe Donald Trump is a successful businessman?
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I know you're going to bring up the bunch of other stuff. Yeah, I do.
What would I bring up?
No, I mean, you can. You're like, well, he's had all these bankruptcy. That's what everyone tells me. I mean,
Is
you're
it-
not the first.
I didn't even say that. I didn't even mention that.
Yeah, you're right.
So
I'm saving-
what metric or what are you using to justify his business acumen? Like what do you use to say,
I
like,
think he's a
he's
successful businessman.
how? Based on what?
Oh, I mean, he's a billionaire. I mean, just like Elon's a billionaire.
But what if he got it through illegal means?
I mean, if did he get caught? I mean,
Well, what if he did get caught?
well, then he probably wouldn't have been able to run for president.
Well, now you're going a little too far, but if you don't, here's what I know. I know that you know who Letitia James is,
Yeah.
and they
See the
found that
attorney
he'd been
in
committing
Georgia?
fraud. They found that he had been committing fraud for decades, and he was fined for like $500 million. Is
Yeah.
that your definition of successful businessman?
Yeah.
That's your definition of success?
Well, I mean, if he could pay the price, then he's obviously got more money. I mean, I would never be able to pay for a $500 million judgment, because I mean,
Well, I'm just pointing out whether or not he's a successful businessman. What about his conviction in the New York hush money trial?
yeah. Well,
Well, he was falsifying business records and creating false journal entries and signing checks off for things that didn't really happen. Would you say that's the definition of a successful businessman in your opinion?
I mean, so that's.
I mean,
part of the
I
business
mean,
world.
Master
Yeah, it is.
Fuzz, this is where we have to actually start saying to ourselves, like, maybe my psychology degree isn't working for me. Maybe it's not working for me, right? Because
Oh, okay.
you're lit.
My psychology degree worked for me because I'm
I can
retired.
tell. No,
Just like my other degree worked.
I have proof. I have proof it didn't work for you because you were making more money working at the VA than you were in the
But
private
I got a
sector.
retirement check.
Right, but
So
you
I
tried
got
to
a
go into
reward.
you tried to go into the private sector and they devalued you, right?
Yeah,
And you
well,
said
they
I don't like that.
devalued me in
So
Texas.
that tells me
No, listen, they devalued me in Texas. I could have gone to, I think, New Mexico, California, and
no,
probably.
stay out of those liberal states, all right? Don't do that. Why
No,
didn't these
well, it's
why
just
didn't
they
the
were
red
too
state
expensive.
why didn't the red
My
state
house is
value
paid for. I have elderly parents that I needed to take care of. So I couldn't. It wasn't an option for me to chase the money. I was happy. See, but I didn't. So I started out as a lab technician after I got out of the military, and then I graduated to my final job as a psychologist, as a psych associate at
But
the
you were,
VA.
yeah. And what I'm saying to you
So
is, but
once again,
Fuzz. This is my
successful as
issue.
a lab technologist or
Fuzz, this is my
technician.
issue. This is my
Okay.
issue with you. I believe that the market values you at $15 an hour. Is that what you said they were offering you?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I think, yeah, this is okay. Now it makes sense. I think that your job that you had at the VA, I think you were scamming the federal government because clearly they were paying you way more than the market said you were worth. So you
Well,
scammed the federal government.
yeah,
How long did you do
probably.
that
Yep.
scam? How long did you do that scam?
What? 20. I
So
don't
you
know, maybe
scammed
17
the
years.
United States government for 20 years, bro?
Yeah. Probably. Yeah. Yeah,
How,
that's correct. You're smart, dude. I didn't know you could figure this stuff out like that. You're smart. God dang, man. You pointed something out that I never saw before in my life, man. You're bright, dude. God,
what,
how'd you do it, man?
what are we going to do about
How'd you come up with that? I can do the same thing to you, dude.
I think you
I can do the
understand
same thing to you that you're trying to do to me.
what it, this is
Ah,
your story.
you're stuttering, dude. Quit stuttering.
You think you
Quit
got
stuttering,
something
man.
over on me?
Quit stuttering.
I think where I'm at right now is you need to give the money back to the federal government.
I earned it, dude.
No.
I earned it for a job that I was hired for. That was my reward for my degree. Okay, because
But
the
market said you don't deserve the value
listen,
you were
I've already
getting.
listened to you. I've already listened to you. The state of Texas doesn't value my job like California does. Okay, all right.
So you
But
want to come to the California and run the scam?
Yeah. Oh, so it's a scam in California.
What you're doing, because you
Yeah.
can't tell me that the private sector doesn't want to pay you what the federal government was
They don't
paying
have a
you.
psych associate certification here in Texas. Okay, they don't. Okay,
I've never
It's
been
for
so
the federal
disappointed.
government.
I've never been so disappointed in my fellow Americans, sir, than this conversation. Instead of just owning your mistakes and saying, you know what,
What's
Zeus,
my mistake? I took a job at the VA that paid me well,
okay, but the mistake
and I
is
was
this.
able to utilize something that I earned.
The mistake is this, Fuzz.
That's the American way.
Fuzz, the mistake is this. You're like Donald Trump in this way, right? Donald
Oh,
Trump
I'm
thinks
like Donald Trump. Okay.
Donald Trump.
I'm a narcissist.
Let me ask
Okay.
you this. Yeah. Do you think Hillary Clinton is a problem? Let me just go down this path with
Why are
you.
you
You think
pivoting, man?
because I'm going to help you
That's a
understand.
huge pivot. Oh,
Do
you're
you-
going to help me? Go ahead, help me.
Because you got a
Go ahead,
psych
help me.
degree, and I'm
Yeah,
going to help you. I'm going to
and
show you.
help
I'm
me
going to
with my
show
50
you.
grand a year retirement.
I'm going to
Okay?
show you
Go
why.
ahead.
So Hillary Clinton's a problem, right?
Yeah, sure.
Barack Obama,
Problem.
Joe Biden,
Yep, problem.
Nancy Pelosi,
Problem.
John McCain,
Problem.
Liz Cheney,
Problem.
Adam Schiff,
Oh, yeah, especially pencil neck.
Mike Pence,
Problem.
CNN,
Problem.
New York Times,
Oh, especially them.
Democrats,
Some of them.
the government.
Maybe now.
Yeah, so that's what I meant, right? Everything is the problem except you. Everything
Oh,
you see,
why am I the problem?
because you can't see it. How is
What
it?
do I need-
And,
what
and
do I
get
need
this.
to see,
Here's the
man?
kicker. Here's the kicker, Fuzz.
What do I need to see?
Here's the kicker,
What do I need to
Fuzz.
see?
Let me ask you a question,
Let me
kid.
hear
Who could fix all these problems?
We the people.
Or your dear leader? He could fix all those problems, huh?
Well, I mean, I think he's given a viable stab at it. I mean, I was just merely agreeing with Mike on some aspects.
Wait, so you believe so Donald Trump could fix all of the problems in the
I
world?
didn't say-
and get this,
you know,
and then
I
here,
really
and here, and here's this, and get this. Let me ask you this: is Donald Trump a problem, Fuzz,
For some people, he is.
for you?
I mean, he's not. You know, I'd like some more prices to come down. But what I see him doing is
W Zeus in the chat. All right, Buzz. What I just did, and you can go take that and write that down in your notes. What I did was I basically got you to reveal how you think and the inability to actually be a free thinker. I got you to show us how you're not able to be a free thinker even though you have a psych degree. All right, because if you
yeah.
were a fair broker or an honest broker of the truth, you would have acknowledged that Donald Trump is part of the problem too, and it wouldn't have been a very difficult thing for you to do. But your ability to actually say all these people are the problem, right? Falls right in line with how you look at these federal employees that you worked alongside of. You got in
Yeah.
my box and
Federal
you said
employees. Yeah.
you got in my box as
But
a
we're
VA,
not
as a
paying,
former
we're not
VA
paying for
employee.
his
Listen,
time.
you got
He's
into
not
the
collecting a salary.
he is collecting a salary, but listen to what I'm saying. And if you believe he's not collecting a salary, shame on you. But you got in here and said all the VA employees that you worked with, they were just
I
collecting
didn't
a
say
check.
all of them.
Well,
I
a
was
majority
merely
of them.
agreeing with Mike on the
Yeah,
dead
yeah,
wood.
yeah, yeah. That part. Okay, so it is what it is. You didn't have the ability to also see that you yourself were a problem because for the life of me, I don't understand how you were collecting all that money from the VA, but then when you had to go out there in the private sector, the money wasn't right and you had to go do something else. To me, that just says and it screams waste, fraud, and abuse, and that's you. Now you turned
Yeah,
around and
that's
tried to
all.
make it a joke, but it's
But
serious.
I was already retired before all
It
this
doesn't
stuff
matter. It does not
No,
matter.
I
There's a
should
lot of people who
forfeit
leave
my
the federal
retirement.
government. There's a lot of
I
people
should
who leave the
forfeit
federal
my
government.
retirement check. Is that what you're saying? I should
You should.
forfeit it? I should forfeit it, right?
All
I
right.
spent 20 years working with paralyzed veterans, with veterans with mental health issues, with, doing psych
I'm
evaluations.
gonna bring up you some. I'm gonna bring up someone else. All right. I think I'm getting your understanding. But I think we're getting somewhere.
Okay.
Good morning, Val. Maybe Val can help you see what I'm saying. All right. Good morning, Val. How are you
I
doing?
mean, I'm just trying to find somebody in that field that's worth $15.50 an hour. I mean, that would indicate to me that they failed in their field, even at
Yeah.
even at the
So
government
now
level.
y'all are shaming me. That's awesome.
No, it's
Cool.
sir. You
Yeah.
shamed yourself. Buddy.
Oh, I shamed
I
myself.
don't. Yeah, I
No,
don't.
they don't.
I
They
don't
don't.
have
They
to.
don't have psych
I don't have
associates
to
in
do much
Texas where
work
I
to do
reside.
that.
Only the federal government. So you're going to just come up here and start spewing some hot air. I understand,
Where
and
were you
try to shame me.
saying?
Oh,
Are you
I got a
saying we don't
master's
have?
degree and make
Are you
15
saying,
bucks an
sir,
hour.
that we
Fuzz.
don't have
Yeah,
psych?
I mean,
We don't
Fuzz,
have
can you
psych
control
training.
yourself for a quick second?
no,
Val
no,
Val
man.
has listened.
I'm an out of touch psychologist. I'm not worth my weight in gold. Or
You're
worth
not
my
worth
weight.
your weight in your pinky, apparently. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't
there you
know
go.
what to tell
You
you.
know
I
a
mean,
lot, brother. Go ahead,
it's sir,
Val. Go
sir.
ahead.
You're sitting here. You're sitting here up here. You don't even know who you're talking to. I live in Texas too, sir.
Yeah.
Plenty of psych people in Texas. The fact that you couldn't get a job here is telling, actually. So I don't know what you know what I'm saying. I don't know where you're trying to go with this information. It makes me kind of sad for our veterans because we definitely did not give our veterans our best with you in there. I will say that. I would definitely.
Well, I'm a veteran, dude.
Definitely.
I retired. I didn't get fired or none of that other stuff.
Yeah,
So they
yeah,
thought it was the
yeah.
best. Okay.
That's yeah. Yeah. That's yet to be
But,
determined.
more
Right.
shaming. Let's call the guy up on TikTok and let's shame him. Yeah, I got
Well,
you. I
okay.
got
Well,
you.
how about
I mean,
this?
just
Let's
came up
let's
here.
reset,
that's
Fuzz. Let's reset. Will you
yeah.
promise to be honest with us at least? Then maybe that's the
Okay.
okay. Because let's be honest. When it comes to the shaming and stuff, Donald Trump started that.
Correct.
Okay. I'm not going to disagree with you. He's a narcissist.
So let's get down to real issues of today.
Yeah.
And so you agree he's a narcissist?
Yeah.
Why'd you vote for a narcissist to put in the White House?
Well, same reason why I'd want a cardiac surgeon that's a narcissist. That failure's not an option for him.
Failure's not an option.
That's true.
Wow. And
I mean,
as
that's.
a psychiatrist, you don't
I'm not a
understand,
psychiatrist. I'm a psychologist.
or a psychologist, you
Yeah.
still don't understand that that's a problem in the White House?
I don't see. I don't. I mean, there's all kinds
Oh
of
my God!
personalities. There's all kinds of personalities.
You liken
I mean,
you liken running the federal government to a cardiologist? Is that what I just caught you saying?
well,
Because that honestly,
okay, yeah, because he's on the pulse of America, brother.
He's on the pulse of America.
Just like the cardiologist would.
Now who's the narcissist, sir? Now who's the narcissist?
I don't know. Why don't you tell me? You seem
That
to
would
know
be you
everything.
at this very moment when you said he had his pulse. Sir, does he lie more than he tells the truth?
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
You're not sure about that.
Want me to look it up?
Although,
Well, I mean, I don't really need you to
did you
look it
watch
up.
the start of Zeus's show this morning?
Huh?
Did you watch the start of Zeus's show this morning?
No, I didn't. I just came on and I was listening to that guy Michael, and I agreed that there's some dead wood in the federal government.
You mean dead
because I
weight?
saw it firsthand.
Dead wood.
Yeah,
Dead
he said
wood.
that you need to trim off the dead wood in the federal government, and I totally agree with him.
So we need to get rid of the people that make sure we get our IRS checks. We need to get rid of the people that make sure that people in Medicaid and Medicare get their checks. We need to get rid of the people in the IRS that make sure everybody pays taxes on time and properly.
Okay, so
We need to get rid of the people.
Okay, what about
we
the
need to get rid of
Medicaid?
the
What about the
people.
Medicaid? Let's talk.
Medicaid,
let's take one of
Medicare?
these at a time. Let's
Medicaid,
talk.
Medicare.
What's
Have
the
you read the
problem with the
budget, sir?
Medicaid?
Have you read the
Huh?
budget?
Yeah, I read the budget.
Okay,
He's,
and then
he's going to cut 900 million, or is it 900?
Sir,
Go
hold
ahead.
on a second. Hold on a second, sir. Then you know he shut down. Then you know about the court cases where he shut down the government funding to all the rest, where states couldn't even get into the system
For the Medicaid.
for Medicaid and Medicare. Yes.
Oh, okay. Was that the nine? Was it the 900 billion or 900 million or something like
I
that?
hadn't even got into the money yet, sir. It's 880, by the way.
Oh, okay.
And it's $880 billion. No, does it say Medicaid beside it? No, but it's from the office that has a $1.2 trillion budget
Yeah.
that is going to get cut $880
Is that
billion.
1.2 a year?
Hold it, yes.
1.2 a year. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and then 880 billion is going to be cut from that
Yeah.
agency.
So they're going to cut
Actually controls
880.
Medicaid and Medicare.
So they're going to cut that yearly, or is that over the course of time? Because usually budgets.
The budgets are 4 years, I think.
Okay. So out of
So $880 billion,
We're basically
sir.
looking at a $4.8 billion. Is it $4.8 billion? Your
Sir,
words?
it doesn't matter. You are talking about cutting Medicaid and Medicare, which he said he
Well,
was not
I'm
going to
just
do,
saying
correct?
that the monetary amount
Hold on,
over
sir.
the
Did
course
he
of
say
4
he
years
was
is
going
not a
to
lot.
cut? What did he
It's not
say
a lot.
about
It's
Medicaid
not a
and
lot.
Medicare?
You're wrong. It's not a lot because you're talking. It's what was the year? You said it was 1.2 billion a year.
1.2 trillion.
Oh, I mean 1.2 trillion a year, and then you said that they're going to cut
That's
880
$880 billion from that budget.
Yes, so 1.2 trillion a year over 4 years. is
880 billion.
4.8
Take away. What's that
4.8
leave you,
trillion.
sir?
And you said the budget was for 4 years.
No,
That's
sir. I
not
said
a lot
I'm
of
not
money,
sure.
dude.
I actually said I wasn't sure what
Buzz.
the budget is. They're usually 4 years.
Well, they do have a span. They do have budgets usually take place over a span of time. Correct? That's what budgeting
Sir,
is, right?
the
Am I
end
right?
result
I think
is
I am
that-
right.
Sir,
I think I am right.
Fuzz.
Buzz,
Okay,
stop.
go ahead.
I
The
can't.
end
I can't.
result
I'm
is-
trying to follow this conversation, but
Yeah.
you're having a
Well,
hard
he
time.
doesn't know what he's talking about.
No,
And I'll
you're wrong,
prove that
sir.
he did.
The
Well,
budget.
let,
for
let us
that
figure that
office-
out then.
Yeah,
Okay.
the budget for that office is 1.2 trillion.
Okay.
They're cutting 880 billion from that budget. Period.
Facts.
In the
Facts.
story.
Facts.
Okay.
That's facts. Now, why are you getting so worked up about that, Fuzz?
So how long is the budget for?
Sir, it hasn't
I'm
passed yet,
asking
so I don't
how
know
long
their
the
exact
budget's
timeline.
for. If it's for 4 years, that's $4.8
Sir,
trillion.
you're not
right? And they're going
understanding.
to cut
The total budget
880
for the time
million?
period, hold on, sir. The total budget for the time period specified is 1 point, doesn't matter what the time period is 1.2 trillion. In that same time period, not changing, they are cutting 880 billion.
So no matter what time period you're looking into, Fuzz, the overall average will result in the same outcome. You get what we're saying?
Look, he said that it was 1.2 trillion per year, and then he said that 880 billion is being cut from that budget.
He
If
didn't
it's a
say
four-
per
if
year.
it's- No. He said
I said I did not
880
know
billion.
what the timeline was on it, sir. But here, you know what? I can find out.
Yeah, and
And,
you know what?
and
And if it's over 4 or 5 or 6 years, well, then 880 billion over the
Sir,
course of
no, it
4 or
doesn't
5.
matter if that department needs. I don't care if it's 1 year, 2 years, or 4 years. Okay, if that department needs $1.2 trillion to operate over that course of 1 year, 2 years, or 4 years, and you cut $880 billion from it, doesn't matter.
But you
1 year,
didn't
2
say
year, or
that.
4 years,
You
sir.
said it
It
was
doesn't matter.
1.2 trillion
You're
a
trying to
year.
say, sir, the end result of this is Medicaid's getting a cut.
thank you. And this is
Well,
what we're trying to
hey,
teach you.
but
Fuzz,
it's a
Fuzz,
cut out of the
And a
budget.
big one.
So
Fuzz,
let me ask you this.
Fuzz.
So
Fuzz,
let's
why
say
did
that
you?
they
Why
have
did
a
you? Can I?
billion.
Hold
Fuzz,
on, sir.
Fuzz. Can I ask you?
I mean, there's several ways to look at
Hey,
it,
sir,
dude.
it's
I'm
actually
letting you
1
know.
year. The total budget of that same department in 2024 was also $1.2 trillion, and what it spent on
Oh,
Medicaid in 2024 was $880 billion.
okay. W Val in the chat. So now we got the information. Fuzz, you have to start allowing the information that we're sharing with you to resonate and
No,
bounce around
I
because
was.
every
I
time,
was asking him to clarify on the budget because
okay,
usually a budget is not just 1 year; it's 4 or 5 years,
okay. Now
6
that
years. And if they cut the budget down from 6 years to 4 years, well, then all of a sudden, boom, you've created a cut because
No, sir, it
you're
doesn't
promising
matter.
to re-budget in 4
Sir,
years
what is
instead of
1 point,
6 years.
sir? It
And
doesn't
you
matter
know
the
that that's the
years. It
truth.
doesn't matter. If that department
Yes,
needed,
it does.
sir,
You
here,
know it's the
sir,
truth.
sir,
If
stop.
they,
If that budget was
thank
5
you.
years, let's just say it was 5 years and it needed $1.2 trillion to operate, it
yeah.
is now going to have to operate that same 5 years with a little over, let's see, that would be a little over 4 trillion or a little over 4 billion.
Okay. Can I ask you a
Okay,
question?
so you're cutting the department by
Well,
$880 billion,
yeah.
no matter the timeline.
So if what happens if they say, okay, we have this? What'd you say it was budgeted out for 3 years?
Jesus.
I said that last year it was it shows $1.2 trillion was the budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Medicaid out of that department was $880 billion.
Okay, so they're cutting that. It still sounds like they're budgeting 1.2 trillion.
It sounds like they're getting rid of Medicaid entirely.
No,
Let me ask, why,
no, it
I
doesn't.
mean,
okay,
that's
okay,
that's
okay,
what's
Fuzz.
right.
Let's do it
Yearly
this way.
budget
Fuzz,
Medicaid is
Fuzz. Let's do it this
1.2
way. Fuzz, let's do it this way. You have your way of looking at it. Val has his way of
I
looking
don't
at it.
think that you can even comprehend it, man. Zeus.
No,
I don't
no.
think you can comprehend what budget means.
Okay, that's
I'm
great.
asking him some good questions.
Yeah, but no, you're
And he
not.
doesn't have
No,
the
you're
answers.
not. You're trying to spin a fact,
I'm
and
not
that's
spinning a fact. You just said that
that's
it was a
really all you're trying to
$1.2
do.
trillion
W,
annual
Tiffany, for
budget
the people. Listen, Fuzz, I'm
over
keeping up with
3
the
years.
conversation. Hold on. I'm keeping up with the conversation. The audience is keeping up with
Okay.
it. What we're struggling with, honestly, is why this is so difficult for you to understand. Why is it so
I
difficult for
think
you to
I have a
understand what?
perfectly good
No,
understanding
no, no. Well, then
because I
why
look
does?
at the budgets.
Okay,
I
why
mean,
does
I
Val?
haven't looked at Medicaid specifically because I haven't gotten to it yet.
Okay, why does Val have to keep repeating himself? Because this conversation, honestly, we've been
He's
at the
not having
same
to repeat
point.
himself. You're just cutting me off, dude.
Okay.
I'm having the same problem
All
with
right.
you that Michael's having with you.
Okay. All right. Fair
And
Oh,
enough.
my-
it's because
All
I'm a
right,
MAGA
listen,
Republican.
listen. Hold on. There are some people in the audience. They said they needed to come up and also weigh in on this. I thought I saw Jim in here. Jim.
Yeah, Jim's in here.
Yeah, I thought I saw her in the chat, but I guess it didn't accept. I was going to let this be, where we're at, and then we're going to really have to get to judgment. Okay, Jim, I thought I saw you. Then I accepted you, and then it went away. Because see, what we do is we run this is a bit of a rehabilitation center. And Val and I have done an outstanding job. Actually, W Val in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, because Val's giving him information.
I wouldn't pay you for this if I had to.
Well, you can't
It's
afford.
not
First of all,
really
Fuzz, you cannot afford this.
Yeah, your 15 an hour is not going to cut it.
W Val, once again, it was so easy.
Neither is his 48K.
Thank you. Good morning, Dr. Lex, and good morning, Jim. You see what we've got going on here. Let's do ladies first, all right? And then you, Dr. Lex. Jim, you've heard what Val and I have been trying to convey to this gentleman, or this is a demon, honestly.
A demon.
Yeah.
That's
First off,
Don't-
I'm sorry, Master. I know you're not used to ladies speaking and having a say, but you're going to be quiet while I speak because I'm not going to hold my tongue if you talk over me. So we're going to start there with some decorum. First of all, the government pays their employees based on benefits. So 48,000 plus your benefits would equate to a higher level of living. It also allows you to work a job that's typically Monday through Friday. So holidays, benefits, etc., equal your package in the government. Okay, so that's first off. So any job outside of the government in the private sector typically pays you way more than the government does because they have to encourage applicants. So that's first off. So if you were only able to get a 1550 job outside of that, then you aren't doing well, and you certainly are not a psychologist. So there's a difference between a psych assistant and a psychologist.
Psych
first off.
associate.
Stop speaking. I'm not done. And then the other part is that typically the lowest level for a PA, which is what you would have been, is $42 starting salary. So the fact that you don't even know that, you don't even know your own worth. So that's that first. Secondly, when we're talking about the budget, whether it be a state budget, nobody wants to see you, love. A state budget runs from usually July 1 through the following year, June 30th. That's a state budget. But a federal budget runs every single year from 10/1 through September 30th. So the fact that you didn't know any of that is really scary. And to come up here and literally claim that you can speak for the entire federal government when you made $48,000 a year in Texas, and then you worked for the veterans and talked about your glory and what you did for veterans, and then literally condone somebody that's subsidizing all of his business, SpaceX, Tesla, and Twitter, through government contracts, while the rest of society is supposed to take kibbles and bits, tells me everything I need. And that psych degree that you claim you have, you better put it to good use by finding a good therapist, my man, because you have no comprehension of what you just spewed. And that crazy little giggle you got going on at times when you try to think you've got something over on or try to demean Zeus, the host that's letting you speak, tells me all we need to know about the white supremacy that's in your background. You are dismissed, sir.
OW, Jim of Jewel.
Okay, so
I'm not white though.
okay, so good morning, Jim. Good morning, Val. Zeus. Okay,
I'm
so
Native American.
Show us. Sorry,
Uh,
Lex. Dr. Lex. Let's go.
what's that got to do with?
Well, she called me a
so,
white supremacist.
okay, so
Well,
you know
you can
something.
turn your camera on.
And all actuality, I saw it when he turned his camera on, and I don't see any way you could claim to be native because you have no outward phenotypical appearance of being so.
Okay.
Okay, so now step one is what's a Doppler test?
It's an ultrasound.
Okay, so what's the full Doppler? What do you call the whole test?
Oh God. You know, I didn't run those, so all I know is
It's a Sheps MD Doppler test.
yeah.
Okay, so another thing is you at first when you first came into the conversation you said you had a master's in psychology.
Yeah.
Okay, then it degraded down that you were a assistant psychologist. Were you handing out
Psych associate. It's a
so
certification.
So you were in a pharmacy handing out prescriptions basically, and carrying
No.
carrying water more or less.
No, what? No, I did like research, like documentation. I would like my last job. In that field, I went out with spinal cord injury and helped them do adaptive skills. Everyone swore, well, it sounds like an occupational therapist. I worked for the federal government, and I
That
worked.
actually is an occupation. That is actually an occupational therapist. If you go out into the field and you work with people. Okay. So here's what I'm going to say. You know,
he was stuttering. He was stuttering. Yeah, sorry, Dr.
I was
Lex.
you know something. Okay, so I know a few psychologists. One of my best friends, actually, he's one. He's in Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah.
There's a test. There is something that they do. They give them this training on human interaction because psychologists deals with know the activity of the mind. And apparently, somewhere along the line, you have either lost that or you've never done it before, because your behavior on here is pretty much showing.
Okay.
It's the giggle I was talking about. He's been doing it
Okay,
all
so
along because that's when the mind is cracking because he doesn't have the ability to comprehend fact.
That part.
Okay.
yeah, so Fuzz, I think that your behavior on here, for everything that you said, your behavior is taking single thing that you said away from you. You can't land a point with us now because we cannot take you seriously.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good.
So
I mean, we're on TikTok, so that's okay if you don't take me serious.
yeah, I don't take you seriously. Hold on one second, Zeus. I'm gonna do this. Really
Okay, yeah. See, I mean, yeah, this is what it takes to save this great country of ours. Yeah, we're getting you where you need to be. All right, Fuzz. All right.
Okay, so Fuzz,
Well, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
You said your degree was Psych Associates.
Well, that was a
correct?
certification.
Oh,
That's a certification. So what's the associations part of that mean?
I mean, it's kind of like a PA. You're just like an assistant in assistant mental health type.
Oh, he just demoted himself in real time.
he did.
Sure did.
I didn't
Okay.
demote myself. It's just like you assist in therapy.
Sir, what psych degree would you have if you had a master's?
Master of Science in Psychology.
Correct. Now, sir, a psych associate is an associate's degree.
Exactly.
Yeah, out of
Real quick, hey, man, Fuzz, what was your thesis in, please? Because
I didn't have a
you.
thesis.
Oh, really?
You didn't have a
I
thesis?
actually, I
Okay,
really
so-
don't. I don't remember. It's been
Okay,
a
so
while.
since you
Word, Dr.
okay,
Lex.
so since
No, I
okay,
did.
so
I did my
okay, so
master's online,
Fuzz,
and I went to
Fuzz,
UTSA
Fuzz,
for my undergrad.
Fuzz, okay, have a look at the picture here. The guy on the right is me in the doctoral robe, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so now I'm going to turn my camera back off of that really quickly.
Yeah.
And put myself back on here.
Yeah.
And in 1997,
Yeah.
doctoral thesis was Lucy.
I wasn't a doctorate though.
Okay, master's thesis. I have to do it. If you get a master's, you have to do a master's thesis.
Yeah, I just don't remember. It was.
Mine was the study of Lucy and the genetic tracing of the migration of human Homo sapiens out of Africa.
Okay, cool.
So I'm going to have nightmares for the next 3 weeks for stating that again. But you didn't do a thesis, so you just went and got a master's without a thesis.
That's correct.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I thought you didn't have the
online.
master's. It was just an associate's.
No, psych associate is the certification. Okay. That's the,
okay,
crazy.
so Fuzz, I have another doctorate for founding a school at Historic Black University, so I know what you're talking about, Fuzz.
yeah.
See, this is the things that you don't get. Val,
Okay.
Jim, have you ever heard of anybody getting a master's without doing a thesis?
You can have a basic master's degree, but it's not going to be a doctoral. And he claimed to be a psychologist, which would require a doctoral.
Well, I have a master's degree.
Yeah, you have a master's degree, but you absolutely, in no uncertain terms, are a psychologist, and that's what you presented yourself as.
Okay.
Exactly.
From that step forward, you literally, like I do have a master's degree in mental health, master's of science. But I don't go around on this app calling myself a doctor. You know why? Because I'm not.
Well,
The
I mean, I
man,
said
the
it's a
man that is
psycho-
speaking to you,
psychologist, whatever.
the man that is speaking to you has a doctoral degree.
Yeah.
That is why there is a doctor in front of his name. He earned that title.
Yeah,
Just like
and
Dr.
mine
Keisha
says
and Dr.
master.
Sharon on this app earned their titles.
Yeah.
You don't get to come into these spaces and present yourself as something you are not. And believe
Really?
me, if you had a doctorate and you only managed to make $42K a year, the problem then lies
48.
with you.
48. Okay, we got to put the extra 6 on it.
Brag about, my
Okay,
friend.
put a
That's not something to brag about.
Well, I mean, I retired from the federal government. A lot of people get
So
that.
Fuzz, the thing is you wouldn't even have to say that you had any kind of degree for me to kind of gauge your behavior as saying that you didn't.
Oh, I don't have a degree?
And another thing is why did you talk about people ordering Doppler tests whenever your whatever you're doing has absolutely nothing to do with a cardiovascular surgeon or anybody in that field has to do with?
Well, because I have to read medical records. Okay.
So what you're saying is you
Oh
were
my God,
taking.
it's getting worse.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I'm saying there's my laugh, Jim. I got nervous for I don't know how many people he's unalived in the last 20 years. Because
Oh,
if
I don't know.
you
I'm
know
unalive.
you know something, you're not
This is wild.
you are not supposed to be reading anything a cardiovascular surgeon or anybody that has to do with anything to do with cardiovascular anything.
Look, man, I
You
have to go. I had to go over people's records with them, and I had to remind them of this, and it makes perfect sense to me. Okay, that's called being service oriented, and if you can't comprehend
Service
oriented, yes.
That's levels. There's levels to this now. I'm listening to this conversation, and you wouldn't have happened to come in here under false pretenses, right?
What do you mean false pretenses?
You're just it's kind of turning into a situation where you're not who you said you were. You're not doing the things that I thought you were doing, and it's starting to seem like maybe you're a little in over your head with this discussion because we've left politics now, and we're talking about things that you are dealing with, and it seems to me like when it all said and done,
y'all are setting out to.
You know something? I would be very, I would be very, very disheartened to know that this man might be the person to read somebody's chart that might be having a stroke. And another thing.
Would you actually read someone's medical record while they were having a stroke? No, you'd be taking care of the stroke. So. Wait. Okay,
Thank you.
Wow.
He's about to tell us how he performed surgery on the brain after the
Real
stroke.
quick, hey, what year did you retire? What year did you retire, Fuzz? Fuzz, what year did you retire?
2019.
2019, the base pay of what you were talking about you did in the VA was $110K a year.
Exactly.
Yeah. My retirement's $48,000.
Okay, so real quick, Fuzz. See, I'm something. I'm actually not a medical doctor, but I do have something closely tied to that in physics.
Just wow.
Okay, so what would be prescribed?
Dr. Lex, don't confuse this man by talking about how there's multiple types of doctors. You're gonna lose him. He's gonna literally devolve into mush.
So Fuzz, this is what's scary. It's folks like you that are out here voting for your own worst interest. Do you kind of see? Okay. You kind of understand now that you're not the person you thought you were.
On my phone, and I didn't hear what any of y'all said because I was busy.
I'm just trying to ask you what would be prescribed for somebody that has a accumulation of hemoglobin that is slowing down the blood flow.
Well, I never prescribed medicine.
Coumadin?
Yeah, Coumadin. Okay. I mean, I did do lab tests. Coumadin.
I haven't prescribed anything, but I can say that.
Could be Pradaxa.
Pradaxa. Could be, any of those.
Let me ask you. Someone put it in the chat, and I think it's a fair question. Fuzz, would you happen to have been perhaps a DEI hire?
I probably was. Yeah.
Okay, so here, Zeus, I'm just going to tell you this.
I was when I taught for 2 years in the school district.
So this is even more alarming. Remember when I said you need to give the money back? It just seems like you ripped the federal government off.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Okay, so
I got the retirement.
Okay. This is where I'm going to land. You worked in a business that takes care of people. Yes. At a place that hired veterans to take care of their own, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so also you're a traitor against the oath of the Constitution. Then, if you're supporting this,
okay, now I'm a traitor. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, definitely, because anybody that goes along with somebody that tried to storm the United States Capitol and overthrow our government is.
Hey, you know what? I was there and I witnessed it.
Oh, a lot of people are saying that since Trump handed out pardons, you weren't talking like that when Biden was in office, so it doesn't matter as far as I'm concerned.
I wouldn't, because they wouldn't come up on my door.
Yeah, but now that Trump is giving pardons, everybody was at the Capitol. I don't want to hear that. Stop that.
So I
didn't go to the Capitol. I just went to the speech with my friend.
You know
Greg.
something, Zeus. Something. I'll tell you this. I am not a perfect man. I make a lot of mistakes, and sometimes I say things wrong. But I'm gonna call it how I see it. This man just told us This is the man who told us he participated in January 6th. And he's a psychologist.
Yep.
And are you Batman too?
Yep, Batman. Yep.
Okay, so I'm beginning to.
Yeah.
We've debunked him.
I'm beginning to think that the
Look at
cheese is slid off your cracker, and there's medical.
Oh, I knew we were going to end.
Oh yeah,
up.
you're.
Kennedy. Yeah. Kennedy for president. Okay.
Yeah, I would tell him to make an appointment at the VA, but I heard their backlog 7 months to a year now because they fired everybody that takes care of veterans. And look at that discombobulation in that living room. Oh my goodness!
Oh my God.
My goodness!
Wait,
Did you see that? Zeus, did you see? He just showed us his living room. It looked like a clown blew up in it.
Yeah. So Fuzz, we see the issue. We've diagnosed you.
Yeah.
You have a serious case of Biden derangement syndrome. Look at
Yep. I do. Yep, I'm crazy. No, I'm redoing my floors, man. I have plenty of time on my hands.
Mm.
Do you keep cans on the top of your cabinet next to the ceiling?
Canisters.
Canisters, yeah.
What is in those
Okay,
cans?
well, let's get back on the subject. Okay, so you participated in January 6th, which means, and you were a veteran.
I was just there listening to the speech. I didn't go into the
so
Capitol.
did you
we
go?
Left. We left after the speech.
Sure. Okay, so now will you be quiet, please? And
Okay.
you know something? Can I send you a cash app for some more T-shirts? But really quickly, so you violated the oath of the Constitution.
Are you a veteran?
By going to the? No, I'm not. But my father gave his life for this country in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, so number one, you went to the Capitol to protest a clean and clear election, right? Fairly won.
Yeah, that's what I believe.
Okay, so you believe the election was won fair and square by Joseph Robinette Biden?
It doesn't matter what I think. It matters.
Okay, so why did you go to the Capitol to
First
protest?
correct thing he just said. That's the first correct thing he just said.
Oh, okay. So you just he messed up, Jim. Okay, so you're a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
You protested a free and fair election.
Okay, that's what you say. Okay.
Wait.
I'm not agreeing with you, but go ahead.
You're a veteran? I didn't catch that.
Yeah, he's a veteran. He's a veteran.
Yeah, I was in the Airborne Corps. I was a medic. I got out in my first job at the VA. My first job out of the military. I worked in a lab and I did EMS, and then I got a job at the VA, and then I worked in the lab, and then I promoted up to psych associate. But I never moved past the I think it was GS-10.
You know something? My dad is buried somewhere in Asia right now because Donald Trump dodged the draft. You know, he dodged the draft. My dad had to go because he got drafted to the Dallas Cowboys and to Vietnam at the same time. And him being a black man, which one did he have to go to? He had to go to Vietnam, right?
Yeah.
Got wounded the first time. Went
That's
back.
sad.
He served 3 tours. He was in the 101st.
Vietnam.
He was in the 101st Airborne Sky Dragons. Then he switched over to the Army and joined Special Forces, the Night Drop.
Yeah.
Okay, so Donald Trump dodged the draft.
Well, that's what you say, but he was 365 on the draft list. I've had to look all this stuff up. He got his first deferment because of bone spurs, and then he got put back on the list, and his number never came up. Because you have to be in your 80s now to be a Vietnam.
You know something? I think that you should quit being a psychologist and become a pretzel.
A pretzel?
W, Dr. Lex. Now listen.
I think,
Dude, I'm too big to be a pretzel.
No.
Okay.
I gotta ask a question from this guy.
Pretzel, man. Come on, man.
Professional
Fuzz.
twister.
Pretzel?
Fuzz.
You want to see me be a pretzel, man?
No. I'm concerned as I'm listening to this story. I just want to know how many times did you vote for Trump?
All 3 times.
How old are you again?
56.
Jesus Christ, I'm 54.
What's not making sense to me, honestly, is why you're doing it when it seems to me like you don't even understand.
Dude, I asked myself the same question about you. Okay,
but
you.
We can don't
and
answer
you have
my
all
question.
These reasons why you don't, just like I do. Okay.
But the reasons that we have actually make sense. The situation that you got going.
I have makes sense.
What is the reason that you think makes sense now, especially the third time, when you know that he's not looking out for you?
That's what you say. I think he is.
How?
I mean, I came up here and I shared with you that I agreed with Mike to a degree, and then y'all just started discrediting.
No. Honestly, how is Trump helping you? Because at least Biden did things for Biden did things for vets, right? Biden did things for our veterans, right? You know about the PACT Act, right?
What I liked is when I went to the VA for health care or for dental care, I got to go to a private doctor and I didn't have to wait all long. And so
who did you thank for that?
Well, that was during the Trump administration.
But how did that become allowable?
That was actually during the Obama administration.
Thank you, Obama.
I didn't.
Fuzz. What is Donald Trump doing right now? Because the insurrection, the insurrection was enough. The insurrection was enough. He lost that election, right?
Okay.
He did, right? No, be honest.
I respect your opinion.
No, honestly.
I mean, because the bottom line.
Did Trump lose the 2020 election? Honestly.
Huh?
What do you have grandkids?
I actually have kids. I have a 7 and 8 year old.
Okay, what do you tell them about the 2020 election?
We don't. They're too young to talk.
Okay, but if you had to, if they came to you, if they came to you and they said, listen, if your kids came to you and said, who won the 2020 election, what would your answer be?
I think Donald Trump did.
Okay, so Zeus, he's a psychologist and he's pacing around in a circle in his living room.
Yeah, correct. I mean, I'm allowed to do that, right?
You would lie to your kids, bro. That's crazy.
I'm not lying to my kids.
Because you set the stage. You set the stage.
That they were a slate of fake electors? Do you?
Yes, they're being prosecuted for it. There's
who is? I only know one person
They admitted to it. They admitted. We witnessed it.
Cindy Powell.
We witnessed it. We witnessed it. They literally went to a building as the elector.
It's called confirmation bias.
On Zeus's channel. What you're not going to do is sit here and spew misinformation that harms our nation. The electors were already given, and they tried to slide in a group of fake electors. They are caught on video, they're caught on audio, and they admitted it. They literally pled guilty.
Thank you, W.
And
Jim.
that is why we are living in delusion land.
And we see it right there. So Fuzz, and what this is seriously, because honestly, I think you're part of the problem.
People really
now.
like me in your chat, dude. I mean, I'm up to like 850 coins or something like that. Wow, I've never done that before.
No. You have one person in the chat giving you coins. His name is Asler. That tells you all you need to know.
Asler.
His name is Asler.
Never had that
he is
done
more
before.
delusional than you are.
Yeah, and you know what about him? He's on the verge of being deported right now. So he's trying to buy support. Yeah, because he's one of those Latinos for Trump from Venezuela. So if I were you, I wouldn't necessarily fall for the okie doke, because that's how you got into this situation you're in now. Now, sir, Fuzz, I want to just make sure I say this to you. What you're teaching your children now is that it's acceptable for someone to lie to you. As long as they make you feel good.
Skin, black hair, my kids.
Yeah.
Okay?
Does that mean your spouse is Latina?
Yes, my spouse is Latina.
Yes.
Oh my!
There we go.
No wonder Asler is doing all of that. Oh my God! Hold on. You are violating every. This guy's
violating all the laws, huh?
You're checking off every box.
Yeah, dude, she's an anchor baby too, man. She's an anchor baby. Ooh, that's
Listen to this man. Listen to this man demean his wife and child. This is MAGA. This is MAGA.
I'm just
Lives in Texas. It marries an
What's
immigrant
wrong
and
with
then
your
literally
charade?
calls
You
his
mean a-
children anchor babies because you are
my
a
wife's an
deplorable
anchor baby.
human being.
My
You are
kids my kids
despicable,
are
sir.
adopted.
You are
My
not
kids are
good enough to
adopted.
be on the bottom side of my
My
shoe.
kids are adopted.
I wipe
Y'all
people
have
like you
adopted
off for
Hispanic
breakfast.
children.
You are nasty.
How many of y'all
You
have
are
done that, huh?
absolutely
Have y'all
nasty.
taken your
and
time?
I know you're used to
And
talking
have
over
you
your
taken
wife.
your time
But
to
guess
adopt
what?
a child?
I'm not
I
a
have adopted
submissive,
two
boo.
of them
I got
at
you.
the
I
age
got
of
you in
in a
56.
chokehold and you
So
can't
don't
handle
tell me
it.
about
You're
your
crashing out, boo.
hypocrisy.
You're
You're a
crashing out,
freaking
boo,
hypocrite.
boo.
Why are you
You're
yelling?
crashing out,
Because
boo.
she deserves it.
You're
No, she
crashing
does
She
not.
deserves it.
Sir, come
Hey.
on, have some decorum.
Okay.
Don't
Well,
do- don't-
I'm
hey,
trying to, but
Fuzz.
she's like, I would call her a
Fuzz.
loudmouth, you know.
Fuzz.
Don't do that
do it.
because it'll get nasty in here.
Yeah, it will. I know it will.
Fuzz.
Oh, you
What's
know
up,
what?
buddy?
I'm not the one, boo. I'm not the one. See, that's the problem with men like you is you literally have to have submissive migrant women to produce
Why'd
your
you do it,
children in your
Fuzz?
50s.
Fuzz.
My
Because
wife
no
is not a
American
submissive
woman
migrant
would
woman.
touch
Fuzz,
you.
why'd you open this
no
can up?
American woman would touch you.
My
Hey,
wife's
Jim.
not
Jim.
W,
Jim.
Jim.
Hey, Jim.
Whoa, this show done went off the rails.
Yeah.
Wow.
Donde es sus huevos adios en
Look at
Rita
this.
Deporte?
There's my wife, dude. She's freaking hot. And
Donde
she's
es?
got a master's degree.
Adios, adios, señorita.
12.
Donde es su jueves, señorita?
Lord have mercy. Wow.
Adios.
I'm-
Adios.
This is the scariest show I've done. It goes right up there with Trash Bait.
There's some truth to be had here, though.
Yeah.
So we can get to some of the truth of this guy up here, sir.
What's the truth?
Sir, see, because you made the mistake and said what your employee level was, GS10, correct?
Yeah, I just never got promoted beyond
GS10.
GS10.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what is a GS10 in government employee?
I don't know, 6 years ago.
Yeah. So you said you were in
Around
20 years, you
50,000 or
retired in
something like that.
2019. And as a GS10, you retired as the lowest level you can be in the government as a white collar worker. So that gives me a lot of pause about who I'm really talking to.
Yep.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Yes,
That's
it is
fine.
a
I
white
mean, y'all
collar
can
job, sir.
cut me
But
down.
a
I mean, I still got
GS10
the retirement.
let me
I'm
put it
actually
in
a
plain.
business owner
Let
now.
me put it in plain and simple facts for you. All a GS10 employee is in the government is a paper pusher.
Correct.
Okay, so yeah, really,
I'm done.
seriously,
I
I
had a
think that, yeah.
GS8. I had a GS8 clearance at 22.
Yeah.
So Fuzz.
Well, I mean, everyone
come
thought I
on.
was white. Everyone thought I was white. And all the DEIs, the ones.
You are
But
white.
you
You
are.
are white.
What are you? You're black?
Do you have a
No, I'm
dog?
half. I'm not quite half. My grandfather is Native American.
Do you have a dog's card? Do you have a
Did
dog's
you say
record?
that? Not quite half,
Who
which
keeps
makes
gifting
you
him?
white.
Who keeps
Okay.
gifting him?
I know, isn't that badass? 1.7.
Well, you
No,
know.
it's Asler, and I'd like you to look at everybody else's. We're higher than you.
All right, W Democrats. So we're gonna go ahead and Fuzz. You can try to
Hey,
try.
the doctor's not higher than you. The doctor's not.
Hey, wait. Hey, listen. I
The
can.
doctor, I'd probably like to go out and have
Okay.
dinner with sometime and
Now,
have a good conversation.
well, look at that. Look at that. You didn't got the
Okay,
doctor. Okay, so listen, Dr. Lex is higher than you. Let's get Val higher than this knucklehead, ladies and gentlemen, because we got to take care of business on this show. Thank you, everyone, for supporting the Democrats. This is why.
The ladies in your chat are paying attention how he demeaned the only woman on the panel. Did you guys
Yeah, I
all
know,
clock
right?
that?
Thank you, W Val.
Notice he's talking over me again when I start
Why-
speaking because he thinks people want to hear him.
Thank you.
So when we came
you're
on
a
here
horrible
earlier,
person.
Fuzz,
and he tried to talk about doctors, he couldn't even tell you what that complex is called. It's called the Godplex complex.
Oh.
And it is literally the complex that politicians and surgeons who believe they hold your life in their hand, or people who have to pretend what their actual education level is or their career is. It's literally the narcissistic personality disorder that this dude suffers from.
Thank you.
So those of you who pay your taxes, unlike Trump, and if you speak over me one more time, I'm going to have Zeus send you right to hell.
Thank you. Listen.
You believe me,
Fuzz.
my power will be greater than yours.
Do not
That's
get
my
her
God
activated. Do
complex.
not get Jim
That's
activated,
my God
Fuzz.
complex, that I'm going to shut you down in about 2 seconds flat because you are one of the most disrespectful people I have ever met on this app, which is why I've had you blocked for over a year. So for everybody who does not understand malignant narcissists, this is an example of it. And that's why they support people like Elon Musk and why they want to be on camera. That's why he has to turn on his camera because he wants you to see that he doesn't shave or bathe.
Now, Fuzz. Fuzz. I'm looking at the background, and the house is not as nicely clean as I would prefer it to be. Is there anything that you would like to help us understand why you're not taking care of that? Because I think this might be contributing.
I'm redoing the floors myself.
Okay. Because I think it's blocking something upstairs with you. All right, because you got to be able to think clearly. You know what they say in the MAGA spaces: a cluttered house means a cluttered mind. You get what I'm saying? And you got to work on that. All right, now
Well, I have kids. I mean, it's kind of hard to.
so now we're blaming the kids.
No, I mean,
the kids can't clean up.
Yeah, and
Kids don't clean up no more in 2025. Kids don't clean up. Huh?
Well, we just got them. We're taking care of that.
Well, you got to lead by example.
My wife and I, we both work, and we have to take care of kids. So.
Okay,
Fire it up, Zeus.
Okay. All right. Well,
hell, am I going to hell? Come on, Zeus, let's go.
That's how the
I'll tell the devil you said hi and you can't wait to see him.
Okay, all right.
We have no doubt of such an
Come on, Zeus. Let's go. There we go. Here comes.
All right, because he wants to go to hell. You see, they know what I'm here to do, and they say, Zeus, go ahead and do it. Okay. They say, go ahead, Zeus. Send me to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon!
Clean low, but not that low.
Yeah.
Going through the lake of fire.
Sing it, Dr. Lex. Sing it to him because he needs to learn that if
That
you
might
do not
be
get
the-
it right, your will burn. And he's
That
burning
might be
already.
the most satisfying send off in a while.
W Val, W Lex, W Jim, and W all of you in the chat. We did something. We did something incredible right there. Right? We had to. His house was definitely telling. He checked every box as far as I was concerned. He served the country, but then he betrayed the country. Did he? Is that what I heard? He
He said it all, Zeus.
Yeah.
And I've seen cleaner houses in a tornado path.
Yeah. He touched on the economy. He touched on immigration. He touched on foreign affairs. I mean, this guy is the typical basket case. And then his education situation.
Okay, so he said he was a psychologist, assistant psychologist, pharmacy tech, veteran business owner. And Batman, too. He said he was Batman, too.
Yeah, he might as well be the Riddler.
Yeah, and then he moonlights as a meteorologist with Doppler.
Yeah. I've never been so ashamed of a fellow American like that, and it's sad people like that actually go out and vote.
Oh man, you know something? I might have to take a nap.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're gonna move it on, you three. All right. Any last words before we move it on? Because that was quite a thing right there.
That was a lot.
I just want to remind people that you need to listen to what people say. You need to stop just taking people at face value and dig a little deeper to the words that are coming out of their mouth. Because if something doesn't make sense, it's not making sense. And the truth of the matter is so many times on this app, we hear people try to present themselves as something they're not. When they don't know what they're talking about, they add a little bit more to the story. And that's why they support people like Elon Musk and Donald Trump.
That part.
Because they are literally counting on you to not know and to just believe them at face value.
That part.
So it's imperative to do your research and to surround yourself with people on this app and in your real life who believe in science, math, research, civil rights, human rights, women's rights, equal rights, children's rights. They are literally trying to take the food out of American children's mouth and children that we have literally promised to take care of.
There
There is billions of dollars of allocated foods, medicine, and clean water that were supposed to be shipped, and we are literally sitting on it so they can harm people. That is what the God complex truly is that I have the power to take life and give life. And that is a dangerous leader.
That
I
part.
love you all. Stay safe. Thank you, Zeus, for giving me an opportunity. Lex, as always, it's wonderful. And my brother from another mother, my twin, I love you.
All right, W Jim in the chat.
I'll say this. Okay, I'm looking at Reuters right now, and it says the Dow Jones Industrial Average is down minus 355.45 points. The
Really?
Nasdaq Composite Index change is minus 643.28. The S&P 500 is minus 114.42.
Yeah, I
That's it's
mean, what? Yeah,
Wow.
out.
and what Jim was saying just a second ago is exactly right on. You got to pay attention to keywords that people say. It made it easy for me today because I could sit here and Lex and Jim were questioning him, and I could sit here and actually fact check him in real time
Yeah.
while he was sitting here, and so everybody knows what that actually looks like.
Go ahead. Wow. So the economy is crashing right now.
But that whole screen of tabs up top are all for him.
Wow. All. This is crazy.
So when you come up and you want to talk to people, you want to do things in real time. Keep in mind, there's people out there like me that are going to fact check what you're saying, because I'm just gonna pay attention to what you're saying and then listen to the keywords that you give me. And like I said, it really became clear what he really did when he said he was a GS10. I'm like, okay, hold on a minute.
Wow. Wow.
These are the things people do, and they just need to, you know what I'm saying? Look, guys,
Hey, Jim.
up here, let's have real talks about real issues.
Well,
I
I
don't
want
care
to
about some
jump on what
personal
Lex said because Val's 58, I'm 53, and you said you're 54,
Mm-hmm.
and he was 56, y'all. I'm just
Wow. And he had a master's degree, and he's got a lot of
I mean,
experience.
if that's the case, I mean, he made
Looking
Zeus
good,
like he was
beautiful,
12.
Yeah.
I mean, I have just a few interests in life. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
love politics. I love to keep up with it, and then I do that.
There you go. There you go. Got to stay in the lab like that. I appreciate it. Well, listen, you three, I appreciate you. We're going to move it along. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give the amazing, beautiful panelists once again handsome too. Well, no one's more handsome than Zeus, though. Dr. Lex puts up a good fight, though. He tries, but I'm gonna have to tell him he better get in line with with Nutty. All right, because you don't want me to end up doing what I do. All right, brother.
See you, bro.
Later, ladies and gentlemen. So as you can see, wow, that was W to the chat, right? We really endured, and to me, that's an example of another reason you should really be encouraged by the Democrats. They're out here right now saying, the Democrats need a leader, a figure like Donald Trump. That's not what being a Democrat is about. Being a true Democrat means you love your country and you're going to stand on the side of justice, the side of truth. And so as long as you see folks doing that or making an effort to do that, that's what we're going to do. And you know what? They say cream rises to the top. I believe that in short order, we will see that happening in this beautiful country of ours. So right now, as you can see, the stock market is tanking, and it's Donald Trump's fault. A lot of people are going to suffer, like I've been telling you. Didn't I tell you all we're heading towards a 1929 depression? It's a depression recession, and it's Donald Trump's fault. So before we move to the next guest, I wanted to give Donald J. Trump a round of booze and shame. This send him straight to hell because congratulations. You're finally getting down to business and doing what I've been asking you to do for a while. You got to punish these people who voted for you. All right. And there has to be a very brutal outcome of it. All right. And a lot of you're not going to make it out of this. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Donald J. Trump a huge round of booze and shame. This is what happens when you destroy our economy. Cut it out, Santana.
Silence.
Santana, you gotta watch yourself because if you ask Nutty, Nutty will let you know there can only be one handsome person in this kingdom, and it's Zeus. Anybody trying to challenge that, you're gonna end up being tell the mods to put you in a straitjacket or something. Good morning, Takesha. How are you?
Hey, sweetie, how are you?
Yes, I'm all right. We got what a show, right?
Man, let me tell you something.
Talk to
First
me.
of all, let me say this. Lex, if Jim didn't want that cash app, you can send it to me, sir.
Send it to Takesha, Dr. Lex. Don't say you can't. Thank you, Kabira. Tell him, Kabira. All right, I'm watching. Let's go.
I'm gonna say this because my voice leaving right quick.
Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed that MAGA has never had a problem with anything until the Republicans or Donald Trump had a problem with it.
Yes,
They didn't talk about the border until they started talking about the border.
that
They
part.
didn't start talking about the transgenders until they started talking about the transgender.
That part.
All of a sudden, they care about government spending that they never said anything about. These people have no minds of their own. They're only followers, Zeus, and it's really, really embarrassing to the other, to the United States of America.
Amen.
To people
Amen.
with common sense.
That
We
part.
look like a bunch of fools over here.
Amen. W Takesha. Hit them with it, Takesha. They know it.
Jim done went from a psychiatrist to a secretary to a paperweight to a teacher
Yeah.
back to a psychologist. Jim, stop.
Thank you. A veteran. What do you think about him getting all that money out of a government? And then when he said he retired, he goes into the private sector and they said, you're not worth that much. Mr. Fuzz, what do you think about that?
Zeus, he lied. He lied, Zeus.
Thank you.
I promise you, he lied. What he need to do is be a mop and glow model and clean up that little nasty house. That's what he
He do need to clean that house up. He said, this is my wife. I said, I didn't want to say it, but it's like, why would she come home and see the house like that? There's nothing pretty or sexy about that. Is it a sexy thing, honestly, and the house is dirty, Takesha?
It's embarrassing that he's retired and that house looking like that. I wouldn't walk through there barefoot if I was a caveman. But it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Wow. So what we just did, Mr. Fuzz, is we're giving you a little bit of advice. What we're finding out, and maybe you didn't know it, but having a dirty house it's not attractive. Maybe that could be something you'll work on too. All right, W Takesha. We don't want dirty houses around us.
That's all I want to say is that they don't become outraged until their party brings up this so-called problem. Because before all this, they weren't saying nothing about none of it.
Amen. All right.
One more thing.
Go ahead, get them with it.
When they said Elon Musk ain't got to take that, he got enough money. Well, if Elon has enough money, then tell him to get them companies away. Because what he got is in the bank, and that's enough. So just give your companies away since you don't need no more money.
Amen.
Billionaires don't need no
Tell
more money.
them, Takesha. No lies detected. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
I'm sick on them, Zeus. I'm really sick on them.
Well, they're gonna find out in short order that they made a terrible decision supporting Donald Trump, and when they do, we'll deal with them. All right, we'll give them what they need. I hear if they drink raw milk, it'll help them. It'll do wonders if they drink raw milk.
I've been to play with you today.
No, raw milk. It'll cure everything, is what I heard.
Maybe Elon will give tickets out for a mandate, and they can go tell him to his face how awesome he is. How about that?
Yeah, let's see. All right. All right. W Takesha in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. No lies detected. Oh yeah. We didn't held the door to the floor this morning, ladies and gentlemen. And as you can see, we are doing a lot to save these American people. All right, let me bring up my good friend, the beautiful Shane. I see you, Santana, and I'll deal with you in short order, Santana. Just hold on, bro. I got you. All right. Because I got to make sure he understands. Maybe he didn't know that was the rule in the kingdom. And, everyone gets to make a mistake the first time. That's acceptable. Yes. Good morning, Shay.
Well, I have to say, there's too many handsome men on the left to choose from.
Thank you. But there's only one. All right. Now, okay, you're being a little too liberal. You're being a little too liberal with that broad stroke. But go ahead. All right. W, Shay.
I know where my bread is buttered. I get it. Get it. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'm a good cult member. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. No.
Oh my God! Yeah, you know what, Shay? Shay, you just might have gotten yourself a little bit of a raise this morning. All right. See, when you come in the box and you're honest like that, I mean, it is what it is. All right. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, you got to be honest over here. Seriously. And to the gentlemen out there that are getting a little concerned, I could sense Nutty is kind of deal with it. Just deal with it.
Nutty's gonna be okay. Breathe, Nutty. It's okay.
Yeah, you got to deal with it. That's just how it is. Thank you, Shay. All right, I'm glad we settled that because we can't have treason in the kingdom.
No, absolutely. Like I said, you can't run a good cult if, there's treason and people falling out and going different places. It just doesn't work that way. So you got to maintain You got to maintain your
Yeah.
control there, sir.
That
Yeah,
part.
it's
And again,
important.
I love a lot of people, but there's certain lines in the sand that they just shouldn't cross, if you ask me.
I know, right? I'm with you. But
Hmm.
no, great show today. My goodness. I
All
tell you,
right.
the
Thank you. Yeah.
powerhouses and the minds and the fact checkers and everybody with our master's degrees and doctorals will sit there and we hear these people talk and we're like, what? What did
Yeah.
he just say? Like, this is not making any sense. And they think they can get up here and they don't know who they're talking to. That's what's so crazy is
That part.
right? It's so funny because when you listen to the way the right talks about the left, it's hysterical. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, they're all poor and they're all on EPT and they're all dumb, they're all cult followers, they're all this, they're all that.
Yeah.
And then they get over here and they start spewing their nonsense, and we're up there just fact checking the heck out of them, all with
Yeah.
a high level of degrees. Some of us, not all of us, but I'm just like the ability to fact check, the ability to critically think, the
Marsha.
ability to research, right?
Yeah. Tell them, Shay.
What's Marsha saying?
She's saying we are all the same, and so she's getting triggered when you tell her the truth. But Marsha, be honest.
How are we all the same, Marsha? Come tell
You
me.
don't get this level of knowledge and information from any other app, anyone else on TikTok, Marsha. All right, except for the Democrats. All right, you go to my live or any other Democrat live. They're not just up there being mean and nasty and defiant and a bunch of complaining people. What we're really trying to do is save this great country of ours.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I agree, Dr. Keisha. A degree is a degree, 100%. And when we talk about like our degrees and I might have this and you have an MD, we have this, we're not bragging.
No.
It's not a bragging thing, right?
Yeah.
Because even as a high school teacher, I often told some of my most capable students that college was not for them, right? So I've never said, right, that if you have a college degree or a medical degree or a law degree, that you're better than anybody else, right?
But you know, Shay, you're bringing up a good point. They try to say that that's how Democrats come across, and this is kind of the reason that a lot of people are turned off by the Democrat Party. Now, I understand a lot more educated people tend to vote Democrat, and I get that. But what do you have to say about how they got that wrong? Because I don't think a majority of Democrats really believe education makes them better.
Right. No, for me, it's not about education makes you think a different way. Listen, what college does for a lot of people that don't go further is that you have to do massive amounts of research. Right? So in order to do massive amounts of research, you have to qualify your sources, right? There's a very strict standard. Like when I was a history professor, I spent the first 2 weeks of my semester defining primary sources, secondary sources, biased, unbiased, fallacies, all of these things. Like, because they would struggle, right?
Yeah.
And they would write a paper, they do a notation, and they would do this. And I'm like, did you notice that that's not a really good source? And so we would break down what that is. You don't get that. We sort of try to do that in high school. I did do a little bit of that in high school, but you just don't have the time that you have in college when you're teaching.
Right.
And so I do think that college, right, does give you a different set of perspectives. It teaches you critical thinking.
It gives you more tools to work with when you're, really trying to learn and actually become better at what's going on up here. And this is the thing. And what MAGA does not understand is it doesn't really matter in terms of how much you know. It's what you do with the information that you know.
Yes.
And what we're experiencing with MAGA is you know a lot of things, but you're making terrible decisions based off of the information you have. And then when you're presented with new information, you do this Biden derangement syndrome thing.
Well, exactly. And I have to say, I have college educated people, and some of them are they will always be conservative. They'll always vote whether they like man bad or not, right? So, but you can still, even with that, you can still get caught in your identity of what you think things are, right? And people kind of get trapped in who they associate with, and
That part.
right? And but a lot of them are much older, right?
Mhm.
They're the Gen X's and the Boomers,
That part.
and so they kind of stayed in their idea of what people on the left are, and so basically they stay very judgmental and discriminatory and things like that. And that's my experience with even my college educated family that kind of
Yep.
stays there. And it's just the psychology of it all.
Tell
But
us, Shay.
for me, I lived in Houston my whole life. And so it's a very international city. And I'm around people of all different walks, colors, creeds, education. Doesn't matter. Everybody, right?
Right.
And it's just a different way when you're kind of expanding yourself. But actually being a teacher, and I think everybody's like, oh, well, it's liberal indoctrination. Well, I think a lot of teachers lean left because we actually get to see, all of it,
Yeah.
and it breaks down our thinking sometimes and what we think should be happening or what is happening within these kids' homes and things like that. And so
Exactly.
it just kinda opens your world and you're like, oh, that's not really what I thought this was. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just think it's ridiculous. But I just, good job today. And I just think as we keep seeing this moving forward,
The stock market plunging, the town halls. You think it's starting to sink in that this is?
It is.
Thank
It
you.
is.
And
Yeah,
we're gonna
it
keep
is.
we're gonna keep doing that. And what do you think? Lastly, before we move on, Bernie Sanders. Did you check out the Bernie Sanders thing?
My God, how amazing was that? I mean, actually, I honestly think that everyone's seeing what's going on. Their eyes are being peeled open to what the Republican Party has done,
Thank you.
and they're going further left.
Yeah. And
They're going
Canada.
Bernie Sanders.
And Canada. What did we get out of Canada?
We got a liberal. Yes, they grew up right.
If I was MAGA right now, I would be panicking
Yes.
because Donald Trump honestly went way too far.
Oh yeah, way too far, and they don't want a conservative leader anywhere because they'll possibly do deals with him, and I'm just absolutely watching what's going on, and so yes, we may go through some painful times, guys.
And Mexico.
Yeah, oh yeah, Mexico too. My goodness, a Jewish woman in Mexico.
He's bending the knee at a level. He's going to be bending the knee to Zelensky. Watch. He's going to have to because he's gone way too far, and you don't have that support that you all thought you have. You're all finding out you don't have a mandate.
Oh yeah, definitely not. And this Trump 2028, you really need to seek psychological help.
Thank you.
You
Thank
really, really do. The man is 80 years old, right? And, and it's against the Constitution. So when you sit there and say Trump 2028, that's never going to happen, first off.
Thank you.
Right.
Don't
And
say
it
that in
just
here.
shows your lack of understanding the 22nd Amendment. And I would advise you to get educated. because
Amen.
You look ridiculous.
Thank
do.
you. Thank you.
I mean,
listen,
you guys
Shay.
complain about Joe Biden being 82 when he left office. So you want to re-elect a man that's 82? Come on now.
Thank you. Thank
It's
you.
just going to get worse and worse. But yeah. Anyway, I'll let you go. Thanks for missed you for a few days, but I love how you're alternating and giving other people voices up here.
I'm
So I
trying.
think that's
I'm
awesome.
trying my best, but you've always been here with us all, and
Oh,
you're
yeah,
very
you
loyal to the. You're
Pull me
loyal to
up
the
when you
kingdom.
need me. I'm here for you. And,
All right.
Yeah, it's all
All
good.
right.
Love you guys in the chat, everybody. Thank y'all.
Thank you, W. Shay in the chat. Thank you. So as you all can see, greetings, Ange. I see you, Ange. All right, yeah. As you can see, this operation that we're running, it doesn't run on its own. All right, it takes every single one of you to help make it happen. All right, and that's what's really important. All righty then. Oh, okay. Let's. I see you, Kabira. All right, I'll bring you up here because I might need you up here, Kabira, because we got to straighten out this young man. Even maybe you too, Ange. Santana. Is everything okay, bro?
Listen. So let me start off by saying that I acknowledge that you are the most fair host on TikTok. Not even close. You're generous with your time. You're someone who allows people to listen, learn, hopefully get an understanding, and give them an opportunity before casting judgment. Right? You're very fair,
Oh, that's
very
those are
honest.
yeah, but I just feel like you're leaving something out.
Listen, I'm not. I understand this is a kingdom. I will never say
You
anything
must.
in
It just
opposition.
seems like you've been hanging out with Nutty Professor a little.
Listen,
You haven't been hanging out with Nutty, huh?
I will always acquiesce because this is your kingdom.
Well,
But
actually, all of TikTok is actually the kingdom. So we
mm,
can straighten it out here. Now that I think about it, that was a great idea you suggested. Yeah. So
listen, listen. Over on late nights, over on sparring, I'm just saying it might be a little bit different while you're not watching, right?
oh,
The part that the light doesn't touch the part of the kingdom, as they said in The
Mm.
Lion King.
Well, I get it. When it's dark outside, people tend to look a lot better. I get it, right? Because you know what happens at the nightclubs and stuff like that. But it's when you wake up that you realize maybe it wasn't such a great idea. So I give you that. All right, W. Santana,
Mm,
lady.
you got it. You got it. Listen,
But you know what? We don't need to get into the politics of that. I get what it is. All right. Obviously, there's only one Triple H, and that's me. All right. I get it. All right. We don't need to go down there. Actually, I feel a little bad for you now that I think about it. So I won't do it. All right. I'll spare you.
listen. I have a wife, and as long as she's happy, I'm happy. That's all I really.
Now, that's a good way. Now, W. Santana. W. Santana. That's what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I like to hear. Thank you, bro. I mean, that means so much coming from you. Seriously. Thank
Hmm.
you. And I
Hmm.
know you mean it too, and I know you mean it because your hands aren't crossed behind your back like Nutty does it, right? So I appreciate that, all right? Seriously.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
listen, to be honest, I'd actually put you higher than Nutty. A lot
yeah.
higher.
Well, listen. I'm just gonna say this. I love Nutty. I do. I do. Never seen Nutty turn on his camera. So there's that, Nutty.
I take that back. I take that back. I'm gonna stay out of that. Actually, I take that back. All right. What do you got for us, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, listen. I mean, we'll address it real quickly. We'll address this real quickly. All right. I mean, listen. We got to wrap the show up. We can't get into too much. Y'all just want to settle this real quick.
You know what? Listen,
Hi, Kabira.
listen. First of all, Miss Kabira, ma'am, how are you
Nutty.
today?
I'm fine, Nutty. How are you?
I'm blessed, but I saw that little comment, ma'am.
What
So
what comment?
I saw that little comment telling Santana he's a close second after Zeus.
Oh.
He's not. Zeus is not first, and he's not second. Thank you very much.
Well, Santana is three
Oh.
S's.
Oh.
He's sultry, he's sexy, and he's serious.
Okay, thank you. I can give you that. And Kabira is telling the truth. But did Nutty just say something? Did y'all hear what he just said? Zeus isn't and Santana isn't, and then Nutty proclaimed himself to be number one.
He did. He.
Hey, you know
Okay.
what? We just got done speaking on the God complex. So we got to stay true to the kingdom, right? So
Okay. Well, we got some. I got to show MAGA that Lake of Fire. It's not restricted to one party. I can be fair.
Mr. Santana, I've never seen Nutty turn on his camera. When I turn my camera on all the time.
W's in the chat for Nutty.
Okay, W's in the chat for the Nutty.
Don't worry, Nutty. Don't worry, Nutty. You were fine when you were younger.
Oh, thank you, W. Kabira. Actually,
You're handsome now. You were fine when you were younger.
well, okay, Kabira. Now, come on. Now, you didn't have to be so generous. You could be honest. Go ahead. You could tell them the truth.
I was being honest.
Oh, you were okay. I mean,
All my black brothers, black men look good to me.
Amen. You know what? I'll do that. That's what we got to do.
Except Asler.
Listen, I will say when you actually walk in the light and the truth of the kingdom, you have no other choice but to bask in glory, right?
Yeah.
And so anyone, whether it's the men, women, asexual, whatever, if you are part of this kingdom,
Yeah.
you're beautiful. Doesn't matter
Amen.
who you are. Every
Thank
one
you.
of you.
And that's true. Okay. we know how to have fun and joke around, seriously, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, it is very important. And I say beauty isn't just on the outside, it's actually on the inside too. And it's nice when people can do both. It is a bit of a balancing act, but you got to work on it. And it starts with taking accountability. All right. And
So,
obviously the looks do help. But yes,
Zeus,
Kabira.
I have to head to the press room, so I have a couple of executive orders I need you to sign.
Oh, we're signing. Hold on, let me get it out. What a great way to wrap things up. Thank you. Wow. Yeah, because you're like my treasurer, right? Right.
Yes, yes,
You're my
I
treasurer.
have to
Okay.
go count this money that Trump's trying to steal.
Okay. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to sign some executive orders. What a great way to wrap things up. All right. What do we got today?
Okay, so as you know, this weekend I was down at Mar-a-Lago, and Trump asked me to give this executive order, these two executive orders for you to sign, so in
Okay.
case things go wrong, there, he can, you know how Trump is, push the trouble off on somebody else. So the first executive order is going to be a temporary financial cut to SSI
Oh.
of 25% to all seniors, disabled, and those that are currently receiving these benefits. Now, this will take effect May the 1st of this year.
Oh,
And
okay.
it'll last 1
Oh,
year.
wow. Okay.
So
1
in the
year.
meantime, in between time, Trump has asked us to make sure we stock up on beans and cornbread.
Okay. Oh, the beans and I didn't want to say this, but black folks love that, right?
That's right.
Okay, and
So
so this is helping out black people a lot.
this is helping out black folks a lot. Beans and cornbread.
Okay, and we know what that does, right? Because when they meet at the holiday time, that seems to be one of the most important things they need. And if you give them that, pretty much they won't complain about a thing, right, Santana and Nutty?
You're right about that.
Okay, all right. Well, let me go ahead and sign that. All right.
You got that?
Unlimited beans and cornbread.
Cornbread.
Thank you so much.
Smelly up in here.
Yeah.
And the last executive order
We got
he gave me, now he told me, he said, you make sure, he's the president, but he said, you are the president of the kingdom. So he wants to make sure that we do not use the term French fries anymore.
Oh.
Because as you know, President Zeus,
Yes.
that Belgium invented the French fry. But because the United States were going to take territory of Belgium,
Correct.
Trump
'Cause
wants
it's ours.
to change it and now call it Trump U.S. fries.
Oh, okay. So Trump U.S. fries, all right. And this is something that is going to save the American people at the end of the day.
That's right.
Billions of dollars, right? It's good
Billions
for
of
business.
dollars.
It's good for
Billion-
business.
Good for business. And if you want, you can buy the potatoes at home and still call them Trump fries. But you can't call them any more French fries because that's giving homage to the French. And you know how he feels about Macron.
Yes, and what they did to all of Santana and Nutty. What did the French do to us? You remember what they did in 1985, right? Okay, you don't, but let's just say you all did, all right? But what they did was very terrible, all right? They really put us in a bad situation, and it was almost what they tried to do was it was a reverse tariff, but what we did is we doubled it on them, and now it's the real tariff. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put these Trump fries into order. And when did you say the effective date was?
That'll be effective today.
Oh, today. All right.
Yes.
And this is going to help the stock market go down a little bit more?
Exactly.
Oh, okay, thank you. All right, let me go ahead and sign
Especially McDonald's stock.
Okay, there you go. All right. All righty then. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. And so what we have right now is that's a lot of work that we just did today. Wow, what a great way to wrap up the show. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give my secretary, Kabira, all right, Treasury Secretary, a round of applause. That's what we do. We sign executive orders here because this is what we're doing. We're trying to get the American people a lot of real help out there. All right, seriously. Well, thank you, Kabir. All right. Don't be afraid to bring some more.
Hey, Zeus, did you hear about the tariffs that Canada imposed on the United States? They're keeping them.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. They said they're not going to be bullied by Trump.
Yeah, they're keeping those on, and Ontario just announced a 25% tariff on what is it? No, they're adding the charge for electricity that's coming into the US. So people electric bill is going up. It just came across my phone like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's going to affect everybody that I know and love because I'm from the state of Michigan, who is a great recipient of that Canadian energy.
Wow. Well,
But this is y'all president. This is what makes America great.
Would this have happened under Joe Biden?
Well, so President Biden is retired. This would not have happened under a Kamala Harris. This wouldn't have happened under a Kamala Harris.
SLB, wow.
You
Wow.
know, I'm sorry.
Sad. This
So
is
go ahead,
sad.
Mr. Kabira. You go ahead.
You know, I was busy taking care of some business earlier this morning, so I was off and on here on the platform.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you discussed when Marie Bartolola, is that her name from Fox
Bartiromo.
News?
Yes. I played a
We-
little of it.
Yeah. So I'd like to know what's MAGA's response to that. You know, he was really cowing down, pretty much like, yeah, we're gonna go into a recession. You know, but by the time this over with, we will. You know, my mother told me that. She told me yesterday. She goes, "You didn't know when I was a little girl, they didn't sell bags of sugar or bags of flour. You went to the shopkeeper and told him how much you wanted, and he put it in a brown paper bag, and he weighed it out for you. And that's how you bought your sugar and your
Wow.
flour. So who knows where we may be headed? You know, I just thought that was a good piece of information for those
Yeah.
of you that did used to watch the Waltons. Yes, they did do that. They didn't start selling bags of sugar until like maybe the last 50 years, something like that, 60 years.
Wow. That's impressive. I mean, and it seems like we're heading back towards those dark times, unfortunately, because these Trump supporters, they don't want to be woke, but they want to be broke. That's what's happening. All right. Well, listen, we got to get it up out of here. All right, you three. Any last words before we wrap things up? Starting with you, Santana.
Yeah, no, I'll make it really simple and really quick. The whole conversation around like education and higher education, and one thing that I want to just make sure I get across is having degrees doesn't mean that you're smart, right?
Nope.
And this is something that I learned. Having a degree just means that you have the ability to learn,
Thank
right?
you.
Exactly.
And as someone who I continue to seek higher education, right? I have multiple MBAs. I'm actually getting ready to pursue a PhD. Like it's something that I want to continue to do because I want to continue to learn. And the comment that Shay made about like when you get education and you're, conservative, there's two types of Trump supporters, and I hate to break it to everybody, but it is, right? I'll be nice.
Yeah.
Either you're not that smart or you're disingenuous because there's no way that you can actually educate yourself and learn more and actually understand how things work and how things actually affect others, and
Yeah.
then say that you're good with these conservative values when it's actively harming other people. So that's just the difference between people who educate themselves on the left versus people who educate themselves on the right.
That
So
part. All right, W. Santana. Thank you, bro. And I'm gonna have to come over to your live, to be honest with you, at late at night, so that we can, liven and do whatever you're doing over there. All right, I've seen it a couple times though. Antifa, Nutty Professor, last words.
Yeah, so very quickly, Santana, what you said was absolutely correct, and thank you for reminding us all of that. Zeus, what you are doing here, and I've said this once and I'll say it again, it is absolutely necessary. Now, we find entertainment in coming here on a
Yeah.
daily basis. A lot of us who come here, we're all busy people. We make the time and we take the time to come here because we
Thank you.
absolutely believe in the educating of the populace out there that's going to be voting. We believe in that. All right. And so we actually take the time to come here to help support that. And we're entertained by it as well. So
Thank you.
we appreciate what you're doing, sir. Continue to, do you without the naysayers. I can only imagine your DMs. I can only imagine the names you've been called, but yet they continue to come back. So with them coming back, I would hope that they take a little morsel of what's being said, and I hope it germinates in their brain. Because once something germinates, it can't help but to grow, especially if they keep coming back.
Thank you.
So that in that germination process, it's going to turn into a seed. And then that seed is going to grow and become roots. And then that's where the change is going to happen.
Amen.
So continue doing what you're doing. You are doing God's work out here.
Amen.
Educating fools. Educating people who are willfully ignorant. Because at this point, they're choosing to be ignorant. Thank you so much for your time, Kabir. It's always a pleasure. Please love on Mama for all of us. Thank you.
All right, W Nutty. All right, thank you, Nutty. All right, Kabira.
Yes, I just want to say this, Ruth. I agree with Nutty. I do appreciate you. You know, yesterday I said, "Oh, Zeus would be interested in this."
Yeah.
So I sent you those. I tried to send one big file to you, and it said it would not support that large file. And so now I have my brother in the kitchen making noise, you know, and I'm trying to get the right atmosphere.
Right.
Send this information to you. And for those of you that says that this is not work, whatever.
They say this is
negative comment,
panhandling. Get a
yeah,
real
this
job.
is
That's what they tell me.
panhandling.
Yeah.
This is a lot of work that he puts in to give us this platform and give us a production every day. So with that, I thought about going live, but I said, "Oh, it's no way I could do this. It's a lot of work that you do, brother, and I appreciate you." I
Oh,
just want
thank
you to know
you.
that.
All right, sis. I appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, W. Kabira in the chat. No lies detected. Yeah, Dropbox is a great idea, too. We'll get to that, too. That's a great idea. And there's other ones, you know, WeTransfer, things like that. All right. Well, listen, Kabira, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We got to wrap it up. I'm well past my time schedule, but listen, what an awesome show. You all deserve a round of applause. This show is, once again, one of the most educational, entertaining, and engaging shows. Thank you. Special thank you to all the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists, and those of you who hit the Cash App. Seriously, I don't get to say thank you enough, because once I'm locked in, but doesn't mean I don't appreciate what you do. All right, but we also got to give one last round of booze and shame to all the Zeus haters out there, all the people that my mods had to put into a straight jacket today. These are some of the worst folks you'll ever see in your life. These people are way beyond being willfully ignorant. They're just flat out evil. They worship Donald J. Trump even to their own demise. They'll ruin their relationships with their wives, with their children, with their coworkers, with their employees. They'll ruin it all in the hope of being in paradise with their dear leader, Donald J. Trump. These folks are the worst of the worst and the scum of the earth. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them one last round of booze and shame. Get him out of here.
Silence! You never date me!
In the best interest of time, we're just going to get straight into it, ladies and gentlemen. We got to get started, ladies and gentlemen. Do we need to do drill, baby, drill? And then we are out of here.
Kamala Harris's war on Pennsylvania
We're gonna do it.
energy, because she's gonna ban fracking, right? 100%.
Time to drill, baby, drill, ladies and gentlemen.
She's against fracking, against all this stuff, and then all of a sudden, about a year and a half ago, when she was getting killed in the polls, she said, "I like fracking very much." Look, they always go back to what they want. They always go back. She can't help it. She's a radical left Marxist. She can't help it. But we're going to end that, and we will frack, 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 and drill, baby, drill. We're going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to be drilling so deep. We're going to be, for these guys, we're going to drill. We're going to take out so much money. We're going to pay down our debt.
You want to pay
We're
down
going to
your
lower
debt?
your taxes to
You want to lower your tax?
insane asylums. You know, they go crazy when I say the late, great Hannibal Lecter, drill, baby, drill. We're going to frack, frack, drill, baby, drill. There's a black frack.
Hey!
You know she's going to bang it. Hey! Up in there, she once again stepping against all the stuff.
W. Wow, we're going on vacation. She said, "I like fracking very much." Look, they always go back to what they want. They always go back. She can't help it. She's a radical. She can't help it. We're gonna end that, and we will. And drill, baby, drill. You gotta be able to drill, ladies and gentlemen.
So deep, we're gonna be for it.
Hey. pay down our debt. We're gonna lower your taxes. Deep insane asylums. You know they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal. Hit it. We're gonna drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter. That's a lot of drilling, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Ash. Hey, Reggie. Like it's Hannibal Lecter. Hey, we're gonna drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter.
Insane asylums. You know, they go crazy when I say
W heaven.
the late great Hannibal Lecter.
What are we gonna do?
They say, why would he mention Hannibal Lecter?
Why?
We're going to lower your taxes.
That part.
Deep insane asylums. You know, they go crazy.
W audit today.
Great Hannibal.
Hannibal Lecter. You gotta be able to drill. You got power tools. Hey, you know they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal. You drill. You drill. Hey. You drill. Hey, hello. Can you go? Drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter time. We're gonna lower your taxes. Deep insane asylums. You know they go crazy when I say. Oh my gosh, how much is the stock market going down, baby? Oh, you need me to help pay off your debt? Don't worry, we'll take care of that. Don't worry about the stock market. Oh, you owe taxes too? Oh, we got that too. We're gonna throw these tariffs out there, and then you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna drill, baby, drill, and we're gonna frack like you wouldn't believe it, because guess what? We have so much liquid gold underneath our feet, and really all we gotta do is drill, and I'm talking big drills, like you wouldn't believe it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta get up out of here. Thank you so much. I'll see you all tomorrow, same Zeus time, same Zeus channel. We are out.